Stop the clock so we can slow it down. It's time we find our way to a higher ground. All my love is waiting for you to make a move. Stop ignoring boys' faces and get behind the groove. Short of the perfect, steady dripping saucy, I'm keeping the tongue wet. But buzzing with the honey, sitting king with a throne yet. I leave a body while your nigga ain't home yet. He fucked up, so I let him fuck nigga go. You did your big one, I'm still doing bigger dough. Played you the ball to score, but you dropped it. Wasn't in his plan, so of course my guy blocked it.
It's the way you walk and the way you stare. Never mind my tears. Then I think I'm about to get slow. Made me wanna lose control.
Diddy kitty, I'm back up on the market. Picking a player pocket, I'm about to have him starving. Taking the loops, knocking boots, my body rocking. Never the two, I'm the one, so nigga stop it. Yeah, karma finna pay me stacks. I know your new trick, watching, so relay this back. Finna have it don't lock like a chokehold.
I don't got no time for a bro code.
Let me go, but I let him go. Let me go, but I let him go. Let me go, but I let him go. Let me go, but I let him go.
Yeah, and that's on Lil Mo.
Pack your bags because you are invited to the Twixt takeover in the Dominican Republic, hosted by your favorite nerd, Oliver Twixt, from October 10th to the 14th, 2024. It's a 5-day all-inclusive stay at one of the finest 5-star resorts in Punta Cana, Hotel Rio Republica All-Inclusive Resort. Treat yourself to a luxury stay with beach access, fine dining, unlimited food and drinks, on-site attractions, spa amenities, and daily activities hosted by myself and my other co-hosts. This also includes a free masterclass on business, content creation, and social media marketing. And yes, everything is included. All you have to do is book your flight and show up. Now it's only a $100 deposit to lock in the early bird rate before the price goes up. Go to www.twixtrip.com right now to book your package to lock in the early bird rate. See you there. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? It's Oliver Twixt here, your nerd boy cutie, reporting for duty to do the Lord's work once again. And we are live tonight on this beautiful Thursday in God's America. You guys are officially back in the mix with Twixt. And you know when you are in the midst, some shit is about, honey. Yo, y'all see a boy is all dolled up. I haven't been dolled up in a while. Y'all know if I'm lashed up, that means the cash is up because I only went to work today. We only do this when she got to go to work. And I didn't have time to take this shit off. So I was like, you know what? Let me give them a little something that they can feel on tonight because child, I may need it. Listen, you know, me doing these interviews with talent from Chasing Reality all happened by mistake. Honestly, it is birthed out of Rick Rosa Gardini to me going live on Bigo, and asking me to come over there to talk about that stuff, which is honestly like the third time I've gone over there on his platform and have given him content for the day. So I was like, bitch, you coming over to my platform and we finna talk about something. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about something because I'm tired of going over there. You know, I've never sold coochie for free, okay? Never a day in my life. It is fucked up. But you know, you gotta say jokes in order to get through the pain. I ain't never sold coochie free even in adolescence, okay? You got to do something for me. All right. So we had him come over here and he just began to get into all of the, as he describes it, the juices and the squeezes of all the me shots and me knots, which then led to Reese G reaching out to me and being like, he didn't ask for an interview, but he was responding to me in the DMs about some of the things Gardini had said, which then motivated me to say, well, do you want to come over here and talk? Which was a beautiful chat. Please, if you have not done so already, please go check out the Twitch exclusives done with none other than Rick Rosa, aka Gardini, as well as Chasing Dallas's creator, Reese G. Tonight, oh my God, it's already 100 people in here. I appreciate that so much. Please, please, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, as well as share. Jump down in the chat. Listen, if you're all watching live right now, there is a live chat going on right now on the YouTube. Only thing you got to do is just click on over and you will see it. Please jump down in the chat and get along with the rest of our friends who are here for all the foolishness. Now tonight is going to be a special night. Hold on, let me see if I can adjust my camera one last time. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Time's going to be a special night because this one, excuse me, really sits in the heart, mi corazon, really, honestly. Not saying I don't care nothing about Gardini and Rick Rosa, because I do. I love them. We had a friendship. And actually us having those conversations, to me, and I believe also for them, because I've spoken to him, it was very healing. You know, it was so nostalgic going down memory lane, and you remember all those feelings and whatnot. But, you know, presently in 2024, you know, child, you know. But this chat tonight is someone that I had a relationship with before they came to Chasing Reality. It is honestly, our relationship is one that was so important, still is so important because of all the things that I've been able to be blessed with since meeting this person. And it's a little emotional because, you know, me and this bitch ain't speak. And child, honestly, it's been about a year. If Chasing Dallas was about a year ago, it's been about a year. It's been over a year. I haven't spoken to this person, like spoken to them. And tonight I'm finna cuss this hoe out, all right? Now I hope my lash don't get stuck because after I finish cussing, I'm probably gonna cry, which leads me to cussing. But tonight we are finally talking to none other than my best friend, or is he still? Deandre, I forgot the nigga last name. Hi, Dre.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing? I'm gonna swap.
What you gonna swap?
Okay, can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Do you have on headphones?
Okay. No. I had you monitor on the other computer, but it was kind of hard to see. So now you're just on my laptop.
Oh, okay. Nothing much. How are you?
First off, I have some shit that we need to get addressed before we start. Are you ready?
Hold on. Now, I'm usually the one asking questions. Don't be coming over here bossing me. I don't like all that.
You know,
Go ahead.
I was excited. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this for Oliver. This is gonna be fun.
It's
And I
gonna be
went to
fun.
I went to share the link, and then it was like we're gonna talk about past relationships and failed business. I was like, ooh, sure.
I mean, it's clickbait. We got to get the people in here, you know?
Yes. What's up?
Nothing much. What's going on, honey? I haven't seen you in forever. Well, I just saw you the other week. You know, I'm gonna say, you know, I hope you know I'm telling everything. I hope you know that.
Yeah, that's fine. I hope so.
Okay, awesome. So I did hear from this bitch about 2 weeks ago. In proper Deandre fashion, I feel like he always, when he does want to peek his head back into my world and what's going on, he always comes stroking my ego in some sort of way. And so I get on the phone. No, I get a text saying, "Hey, can I say what it was for?" No, I probably should. Oh, I can. Okay. Yeah. I get a text saying, "Hey, I'm teaching a lesson today to my kids, my class about Black history," and I don't know if you said I'm talking about you. I don't know. I forgot how you phrased it. Okay, maybe you did. But I'm like, sure, yeah, I can call me, whatever. I get on FaceTime. It's this whole presentation he has put together. The kids are so excited. They were so sweet. They were so excited to talk to me. I don't know what lies he told them. But I'm sitting here, you know, of course I'm happy to see him. I'm happy to be with the kids and talk to them. I'm sitting here thinking, now I haven't spoke to this Negro in over a year, but he had the enough time to think of me to come up with a whole presentation, a graphic design, a PowerPoint, and a lesson plan, and calling me was like the last thing on that pecking order. So I still had an attitude. You know, it's never no pleasing me 100%.
I thought of you because I was teaching my kids, you know, it was Black History Month. So we were talking about just influential Black people. And instead of talking about people we always talk about, like, you know, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, I was talking about people that I knew. And I was trying to I was like, oh, how do I introduce Oliver? Because, you know, now you wear thongs and shake your ass on Instagram. So I was like, oh, how can I talk about this boy to some third graders? So, but it was fun. They were excited. They literally talked about you for like a week after that.
Really? So, what were they saying?
They were just excited to talk to you.
Oh, that was so sweet. I appreciate you doing that for me. It made my day.
Yes.
Yes, Deandre. So I have you here in my classroom with all of our friends here to talk about so many things. This space has almost turned into it's very similar to like how my top model interviews used to go, like where we're just talking about whatever. Like we talk about the show, but we talk about whatever. And so I think kind of now with me doing these, I want to talk to people who I've had like relationships with before I start just like interviewing anybody from the series, because having these conversations have been like really therapeutic. It's like coming to like a mini church service for me, like these last few weeks. And I'm really excited to talk to you because I feel like if there's anybody who could really speak about me that I'll feel comfortable speaking about me. Whatever Deandre says, okay, it's probably the truth. You know, I probably may not like it, but he's probably telling the truth. And I just feel like we have so many amazing moments that I don't think the world knows, because of course we're going to talk about Chasing Dallas. But from that and your involvement on that show, so many people were like, Oliver and him are friends.
Yes.
Oh my God. We would never da. And I'm like, y'all don't know the Deandre that I know. And I feel like today's our opportunity to let the world know about you and I. I think it's time.
It's hilarious that so many people hate me. I'm like, it's funny because the thing that they don't like me for is the things that I was telling the truth about. And then when people see me in person, they're like, oh my God, you said such and such. And it came out. I'm like, yes, everything I said was 100% honest. But when people aren't ready to hear it, they don't know how to receive it. So
yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. You look good.
Thank you.
I like a little extra pounds on you. It looks nice.
I don't hate extra pounds, ho. Actually, it's my shirt because I'm sitting
Watch
down.
those H words.
I'll have me stand up and let y'all know. Because, you know, Trey Howard said my stomach was hanging over my belly. So I just wanted to clear that up. I am thick, you know, just like milkshakes. It's still
was he lying? I miss you, Drazy.
I miss you too. How's everything?
You know, life is going great. You know, it's going
you look good.
Cool. Thank you. We're trying to keep this weight off. You know, I haven't. Thank you. I haven't yet announced it, but it's been officially 1 year. This month makes 1 year. I've had my surgery. And it also makes 1 year since I've had a drink or smoked a blunt. Yes. And if no alcohol, no weed, no. And if we want to count, this is month 8 of no penis. we trying to grow up and do something.
No, I feel it. I receive it. Same here. You know.
What about you? What you got going on?
I don't drink. I was just drinking last night. But yeah. Same old, same old. You know, I'm always got my
same old.
Huh?
What's same old, same old?
You know, I'm always dibbling dabbling, trying to figure out what I can do.
Yeah. Where do you want to start with this? You know,
I'm
already about to cry.
Why? Don't cry.
You know, I'm emotional.
Don't cry,
people don't get to see this side of me. You know, I'm very emotional.
I think what people don't realize is that, like, you and I are like, well, I say were only because, like, we hadn't really been as close as we were. I really feel like, and I'm not trying to blame it on it, but I felt like so much happened with Chase and Dallas that we did not get to, like, discuss.
Yes. It was Chase and Dallas.
Yeah, it really was. I've never talked about Chase and Dallas. Like, I never interviewed or anything. All the interviews everybody asked me to do, I turned them down. I never.
Oh, this is your first one, and it should be your only one.
Talk about it, like,
and it should be your only one. I think so.
It is. It is. But yeah, let's start wherever you want to start.
Okay, so before we get into me, because and me and everything that comes after me.
Somebody said he's bringing Eddie out.
Don't look at these. Don't look at these. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just thought about, because when we talk, I don't call you Oliver. I really do call you Eddie. Because
you do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You can say Eddie. Don't mind me. Listen, y'all, this is really how we, whatever. Okay, so Deandre, tell us about what you were doing in life, because you have done a lot of things in media and in entertainment that I don't think a lot of people know, because you did not get the opportunity. You have almost 200 people in here watching right now, Deandre. Oh my gosh, look at you. And we're not even like 20 minutes in officially. Oh, you popping. Listen, yeah. So I want you to share with the people listening what you were doing, specifically in entertainment, in education, and all the other things before we met you on Chase and Dallas. And tell them all, before we met you on Chase and Dallas, and tell them everything. Don't leave nothing out.
I felt like before I got on Chase and Dallas, I was in Atlanta, and I was on my like real estate venture at that time. And so I was just getting a bunch of Airbnbs and just trying to make my money flip. I remember I was telling you, like, when I first met you, you were like, I haven't worked for anybody in such amount of years. And I'm like, oh, I need to get to that level. So that was it. I was just trying to make my money work for me. I'm guessing you're referring to music. Is that what you want me to talk about?
I want you to talk about music. I want you to talk about your reality TV shows. I want you to talk about education. So start with music.
I did too. I did a lot. I'm not even trying to be funny. I really did a lot.
Yes, nigga.
I started writing music in college officially. And from there, I had like an up and down roller coaster with music.
Oh, you don't tell it. I just thought about it. Oh, nigga, you don't say it.
What? About what?
No, keep going.
The names?
Oh, yeah.
No. So it started there. And then from writing music, I think I wanted to do more. I've never wanted to be an artist, but I've always wanted to be like in the know. And I wasn't really quite sure what I wanted to do until our good friend, remember Ocean Kelly?
Yes, we love Ocean Kelly.
I was with him in the studio one day working on like this.
Oh, wait, never mind. I'm sorry.
What?
No, I was about to say Ocean Kelly is the one who produced Hydraulics, but no, Ocean Kelly produced Throw It in a Circle.
Well, I'm happy he responds to you. Yes, I was working with Ocean one day, and I was trying to put out a song for another artist who hasn't paid me, so we're not going to bring her up or give her any like. And he was like, you really need to stop, get out of your whatever stopping you and get into the A&R world. And I was like, I don't really know how I feel about that. I'll give it a try. And from there, I feel like everything moved fast. From that last writing session, That's the song I've been trying to give you for like 30 years. Remember? And you're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. And yeah, and then of course I went on my reality stint. I did some shows. I auditioned for a lot of shows.
Talk about the shows you have done.
Ooh.
Oh, you don't want to? Okay,
No.
bump it.
Yeah, no. So I did some reality shows before, and that's what kind of got my interest going in like real productions. Not to say that Chasing Dallas wasn't a real production, but like, you know, mainstream. And that was fun. You know, I was waiting for one show to take off. It didn't take off. And then so with my idle time, I just moved to Dallas. Because really it was like the next day. I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna move to Dallas. I just moved to Dallas, and it all came from
I didn't even know.
Picture. Yeah. I just took an Instagram picture and I hashtagged it Chasing Dallas, just being a troll. And then they were like, oh, we're bringing Dallas back. And from there we have it.
I feel like you left out so much. Can I?
I did. Because I hate when people go on and on. Like, oh, good job. You did this. You did
Oh, no. We're going to talk. Okay, so let's talk about music. You've written for artists. Do you care to share the artists you've written for?
No.
Okay. Well, guys, he's written for some amazing artists.
Yes. Real artists. Grammy.
Yeah, like songs you guys have heard on the radio.
I was at the Houston Rodeo 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago, and I was walking by and I heard the song, yeah, and I had like stopped and I was like looking around and I was like, damn, nobody knows that I've written this song. This shit is crazy.
You know, and I think it's time that those things end. You know,
Not tonight.
No, definitely not tonight. Oh, but trust and believe. Soon and very soon, I have to put you onto some things. But listen, let's talk about something else. Okay, you don't want to talk about your music. You don't want to talk about reality TV. Talk about your education.
I mean, reality TV, only the one show I do not want to talk about. You know that I definitely don't want to talk about.
You know, somebody wrote it in the comments already too.
That was the old me.
It's okay.
But, yeah. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with having fun.
Yeah.
Talk about your education, your educational background. You're a smart man.
I went to so many colleges, just like I had so many jobs. So my first college I went to is in South Georgia. I went to Valdosta State University first. Go Blazers, if anybody knows where that is. From there I was a biology major. My concentration was pre-dentistry. Yes, I had a full ride scholarship to go to school to be a dentist. And then I transferred to the illustrious Florida A&M University, FAMU in Tallahassee. I was there for a little over a year. And then I left.
Who did you meet there?
Who did I meet at FAMU? Oh, you talking about Troy?
Yeah.
Yes, Troy is my line brother. Yeah, me and Troy were on the same line. And from Tallahassee, I feel Tallahassee really made me figure out who I was and like what I wanted to do. Because, you know, we always talk about this, but like growing up, I was always like the smart black kid in my class. And then when I went to like a HBCU, it was like, okay, we're all smart, we're all black. Like, what are you going to do to make yourself stand out?
Right.
There, I had to be like, you know, I was always the darkest person in the room. So I had to make that work. But yeah, Florida whipped me into shape. And then from there, that's where the DJ identity comes from. So when they were trying to like, oh, we don't know him as Deandre, we don't know him as Dre, like DJ came from there. Because I was doing a lot of things I didn't want anybody to know that Deandre did. So,
what you was doing?
I was doing a lot. I was in college. I was free. I had just found out I was cute. I was like, oh yeah.
You was out here in the streets.
I was in the streets.
Okay. So let's fast forward to when you and I met. What do you remember about you and I meeting?
So we first met, I think officially when I called you because I wanted you to do the song. I wanted you to produce the video for the song.
We met unofficially before then?
Yeah, because I feel like we were actually, fun fact. If you want me to spill the tea?
Yeah, say it.
So it was
I'm scared, but go ahead.
So we were actually flirting on Instagram. And then we would go back and forth, and then we would like each other's pictures, and then like nobody would ever say anything. And then you started liking my pictures first, and then I went back, I started liking your pictures. And then it was just like an ongoing thing. And we would have like brief conversations like, you know, hey, what you up to, yada yada yada. But it was never anything. Am I lying? Yeah, and so it was from there. It was just like back and forth flirtation, but it was never like anything, you know, anything serious. And then I wanted to work with you to do the video to the cuffing season song. And then from there, I reached out to you, and then I forget what happened. I think I like
I remember
like last minute. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this video. I don't want to be an artist.
Yeah, you just went bye-bye.
Yeah, you know, that's what I do.
But you have paid me my deposit though, so
I
you
did.
know.
Thank you. So let's clear up this rumor that I don't pay. I paid the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have paid me, and you asked for your money back, so that was great.
Because once it's out, it's out. I ain't like that.
Yeah.
Now you know, we've been on plenty of trips.
I know. No, we gonna get to it. We're telling it all. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Were you done? I don't want to stop you.
That's it. And then I remember one night, I forgot how we actually ended up hanging out.
Oh, I remember.
Okay,
okay, I don't know shit about this Instagram stuff. This is news to me. You've never said this before. And how
Instagram?
You've never said us liking our stuff back and forth. You said we matched on Tinder before.
I started to, but then I reeled it back in because I didn't know.
You can say it. You can say that type of stuff. I'm telling you, you can say stuff.
You wasn't the only one from Chasing Atlanta that was in my inbox on Twitter or Instagram. You were just the only one that I responded.
Who else was in your inbox trying to? And don't be saying I was in your inbox because clearly we was never in the inbox.
No, we just like swiped on each other and then it was just there.
Who was in your inbox trying to talk to you?
They already don't like you, so I'm not gonna make them not like me.
Oh, I don't give a fuck if a bitch don't like me.
Oh yeah, because y'all not coming back, so we ain't gonna talk about Nico.
They not coming back. Who?
Rico.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that. That's my sister though, but praise the Lord.
Everybody's sister.
Okay, so I remember us linking to talk about business. You had booked me for a consultation. You wanted me to help you with this song as well as do this music video, which was going to be Flavor of Love themed because you were on a certain show at the time, which I was really excited about, you know? I really want to get into like creating musical moments for people because that's really where I live and breathe, you know, being able to bring in different art mediums and just making them make sense. You know, I have an understanding of music, lighting, technology, all this other stuff. So anyways, I was really excited to do the video. We ended up not doing the video. And then, okay, fast forward, right? You ready to go down memory lane?
I'm ready.
So fast forward to the summer of 2021, right?
Okay.
Summer 2021. This is around May 2021. And I've talked about this before in my vlogs during that time. And I've talked about it here and there. But I'll talk about it tonight. Just, you know, I'll be the first one to be completely honest. So during that time, I had broken up with Quez.
Did you know?
But, I mean, in full, no.
Right.
He was gone. He got up and left. He was gone. He literally got up and left. Like, got up one Friday and was like, okay, well, I'm going back home. And I was like, okay. It had already been so emotionally draining. Every lead draining up until that point. That same day, my mom and I fell out in like a horrible, horrible way. And then the very next day, my best friend since college, who had also kind of been like my like right-hand man in this whole Oliver Twixt journey. Him and I had been like on a decline for like, at that point, over a year. It was going on 2 years. But the very next morning, him and I was like, okay, we're just gonna stop being friends. And that had sent me into one of the darkest moments I've ever experienced in my life. Up until that point, I was going viral for Top Model and I was on WeTV. Bitch, at that point, you know, I was making good money every month. You know what I'm saying? Like, life was great, but my home life and my personal life was in shambles. And so I go into this deep depression where like all the people I'm used to being around me are no longer around me. I'm basically like having to like relearn everything again. And like, I didn't go to any therapy, at least not an in-person therapist. But I'm looking back on it, I'm surprised I didn't go fucking crazy. Like, I'm surprised I didn't like, I'm surprised I didn't get hooked on drugs or was like doing crazy shit, because like to go from living one way on a Thursday and then Saturday everything has changed that is a lot, you know, and it was a lot. And I was depressed. I didn't work. Like, I stopped working for like a whole month and a half. And I was just basically living off my, you know, my little WeTV checks. You know, I was traveling here, going here, just trying to like find some happiness. I couldn't find no inspiration. At this point, this is before the circle, this is before everything. I'm like, bitch, you're like, girl, you know, you're the first web reality star to be on mainstream TV. Girl, what you gonna do next? You know, but I couldn't find it, right? And I would be home crying in the bed, just crying, just trying to figure it out, right? Okay, I'm being honest. And so one day, this is kind of like, it took me like a whole month to get out of the funk. I'm setting the story, y'all. It's gonna make sense. It took me like a whole month, like a month and a half to get out of the funk. But I had got out of the funk. I was kind of like getting back to life a little bit, not to full capacity, but just a little bit. At that time, I wrote Hydraulics. Hydraulics got written during that, like, I did like my final cry one night, and the very next day I got up and wrote Hydraulics. So I was like, bitch, you know, I need to feel my Florida fierceness. Anyways, Miss Oliver was being hot in the pants, right? I was hot, you know, because I hadn't been touched in a while. And so there was a gentleman in my phone by the name of Deandre, who was one of my trusted touch me friends. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not about to play with you.
Okay. Anybody out there got a touch me friend? I don't live that life no more, but we didn't have a touch me friend.
I think we was running around hunting.
No, it wasn't you. It was another guy. It was another. It wasn't you.
I'm about to say
no. At this point, we haven't met yet. I'm getting to you, nigga. But you know, people done said we done did it all, which we gonna talk about. That's why I put past relationship up there, because we're gonna talk about all this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so I sent like a pheromonic bird call to Deandre in my phone. Child, I sent it to this Deandre, right? And mind you, I had saved his name and number in my phone because we had done business, and that's usually what I do. So I can know, like, when the clients call, I'm like, okay, this is such and such person. Because if it's not saved, I won't answer it. So I knew I had saved. Once I thought back on it, I was like, oh, I had saved his number from when we were supposed to work together. And I remember, like, you responded back to me. It's probably still in my text messages, but I remember you responded back to me, and we responded back maybe 2-3 texts, and I was like, oh shit, this not DeAndre. This is a whole nother fucking DeAndre. And so I'm sitting there like, who is this DeAndre I'm texting? But like, they're texting me back, like, engaging in the conversation. And so I'm like, oh shit. And so, bitch, I was shamed. I was like, I'm just not gonna respond back. I don't know who this is. I don't know what's going on. Oh, whatever. And then this DeAndre texts me back, and he's like, oh, bitch, don't get quiet. Well, he didn't say bitch, but he was like, oh, don't get quiet on me now, X, Y, and Z. And so from there, we started talking, like, just conversing back and forth. I was like, send me your Instagram, because I couldn't remember, like, who he was. Anyways, whatever. I remember, oh, this is the guy that was supposed to do the video with. We started talking. And then I think Memorial Day comes up.
I think so.
Memorial Day comes up, and I get called on. Was that night?
Nene?
No, Nene. But we went twice, because the second time is when I did my circle audition. But
yeah, you haven't done the circle yet, because remember that night led to the circle.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, we make an arrangement that we're gonna hang out, right? Remember that? Mm-hmm. We're gonna hang out. Mind you, at the time I was like, okay, we're just gonna hang out. You know, it's just something to do. I'm just gonna have fun. DeAndre, the first time I go to Nene's is because I was hosting, though. That was my first time going. I was hosting. No, I never went just to go. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm, because remember, that's in Johnny Blaze night. And remember...
Oh, yes! Okay, there we go. But I feel like, we didn't pay for that section when we went the first time.
I think I don't know if it was Alvin. It was somebody who wanted.
It wasn't Alvin. It was my Morehouse brother. I can't think his name. Last name Gibbs.
But yeah, somebody wanted you to come, and they were like, "You can come." Yada yada yada. They were going to cover it, and then they tried to bait and switch us, and then that's how
And then the next time I came was because I was actually hosting with Saucy Santana.
Right. No.
Oh. Santana was me and Santana hosted the same night because remember he was in the section next to us.
Yes, and that's that night, and he tried to act like he didn't remember me. Yeah.
All right, no, we're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I'm getting ready. Somebody was over here with me, maybe my makeup artist. Somebody was here with me, like as we're getting ready to go to Nene's that night. And I just remember when you walked through the door, that was like really like my first time looking at you, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, like it caught my eye. I was like, "Oh shit! All right, how you doing? Nice to meet you." I don't think we had spoken on the phone.
Yeah, we did, but it was just kind of like mostly text. We mostly text each other.
Right. So it was really like a blind meeting.
It really was.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chase was trying to like be in my face. You remember? You remember your friend Chase, the light skinned one? He was doing that the most. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You pick it up from there. I've talked enough.
So I remember I walked in, and the first thing you said, you were like, "Oh, you smell good," and you were getting your makeup done by the girl. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so when I walked in, I was just sitting around, and I forget what happened, but we were just kind of just like chilling, shooting the shit. And you were like, "You want an edible?" And I was like, "Oh no, baby, I don't do edible."
Offer you drugs.
And so we
keep going.
We were vibing, and then I was pretty much hanging out with like Cookie the whole night. And I remember they were supposed to send you a car. Something happened. They were supposed to send you a car, and they didn't. And that's when I ended up driving. Remember, I drove us to Duluth, and we were literally just driving, just having random conversations. When we first met, it honestly felt like we knew each other for like
we were just talking.
Yeah, and we were talking about how did we get on the top. Oh, you were saying how you wanted to do more reality TV. And then I brought up the circle. And I was like, oh, yada, you should do the circle.
Do we want to talk about the circle right now?
It's up to you.
No, I would love to talk about the circle. Let's go to a quick commercial break before we get into the circle story, because I'm so glad to finally tell the story with the person that I've always spoken about. And we're going to get into that. Guys, don't go nowhere. You are officially in the mix with Twixt. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, everyone? It is Darius asking you to check out my newest children's book, DJ Stands on Business. Follow along as 5 friends who are entrepreneurs by the name of Pixel, Raven, a dynamic duo we can learn, and a children's book author named DJ use their entrepreneurial spirit to save money to go on a trip to Mexico. So follow along as children can learn about terms that teach them about entrepreneurship and give them the opportunity to open up the world in the adventures of friendship and entrepreneurship. You can check out my children's book, DJ Stands on Business, as well as DJ's Favorite Day and Twinkle Little Star at www.kingdariusbooks.com.
Oh my gosh, guys, we are back in the mix with Twixt. Listen, I'm going to get an official video to play, but if you want to sponsor an ad during my live, please feel free to email me at Oliver@thebtwixcollective.com, or you can really directly message me on Instagram and Twitter. Y'all know I check my DMs all the time, but we would love the support. Make sure you guys go check out Darius's book. Listen, I ain't have no parts with these names, none of these, don't put me the fuck in it, okay? But go get the book, and really, it's a great treat for you and your kids, especially those of color, to see themselves as they are engaging in academic activities. Go get it. Bitch, I sold that. They don't need to pay me for that. Listen, tonight we are talking to my friend, my real life friend, Deandre, who is in the mix with Twixt, talking about all things himself, his life before chasing reality, chasing Dallas, and of course, him and I. And we have him back in the classroom. Hey, Dre.
Hey.
Okay, so it's time to talk about the circle.
Yes.
So I remember the moment. I remember everything like it happened yesterday. So we were in the car. And at this point, Miss Olive, she is feeling herself just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because the kids out here, they recognize me from the YouTube for the top model stuff. You know, she was just on WeTV. So, you know, You know, of course you should be talking to me about reality TV. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. However, I'm talking to him, and I'm noticing, oh, this nigga know more shit than me. Like, this nigga been more places than, okay, let me shut up. And, you know, I'm real cool. I was like, let me just be quiet and listen to him. So he's talking. He was like, yeah, I had got casted on The Circle, which at that time I had just got into watching. I had watched seasons 1 and season 2, and I was already feeling the inclination to like audition, but I was like really, really scared. And I've talked about these times before, but I had a dream about it. Somebody messaged me about it. Somebody randomly called me and was talking about it. And then now he was saying he actually got on the show, and I was telling him, I was like, you know, I was thinking about it. And Deandre was like, oh no, you're going to audition for The Circle. This is the first day we're meeting, first night. We haven't even really gotten on the highway yet from my home, from downtown. No, like, we're still like first 2-3 minutes in conversation. He's like, oh no, you're going to audition. You're perfect. What are you talking about? Do you want to chime in?
No, that was that. Because it was COVID. I remember I had did all the stuff to go on it, but once COVID came, they didn't want to do, that was season 3, actually. I was supposed to do season 3. And everything got mushed around. And so from there, they were just kind of like playing. Mm-hmm. And then that's when the Signal 23 stuff had came out. And they were like, yeah, baby, we're going to sit you down for a second. Circle.
Signal 23 stopped you from being on The Circle?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, so once they found out your contracts and your background and stuff, they asked, you know, have you done any shows, yada, yada, yada. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm not about to tell Netflix about fucking this. You know what I mean? So yeah, once they found out about it, they were like, yeah, no, have a seat. We're going to call you back, and, you know, not this round, but the next one. Because, you know, they do 2 at a time. They were filming both seasons back to back. So yeah, from there, I was just like, ooh, but then between waiting for the next season, remember I told you, I was like, I didn't want to do The Circle because I was going to do Jet Set. And so I was putting all my eggs into the Jet Set basket. And that's why I was just cool on it.
Which this happens after all of this, but the Jet Set then turned into what show that you got casted for that you didn't go for that became a hit this year?
I know. I'm so fucking mad about that.
I'm mad at you.
Yeah. What, Squid Games?
So Deandre, you guys, was casted on Netflix's The Squid Games. Like, they had bought his plane ticket. Yeah. He was set to go and compete in the Squid Games, and this motherfucker here.
Yeah. I'm still mad about that. When I see how big it was, I was like,
this motherfucker here, and you would have been perfect.
Yeah. But then I would have had to play the villain again because that's where they were trying to be. Yeah, but I didn't want to.
That would have been the place to be it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be a villain, be it there.
Yeah. I just didn't. It was so many things going on, and then, you know, at that time they had just, because I had when I was gonna go film Squid Games, we were wrapping up Chasing Dallas, and so remember I had already quit Chasing Dallas, but then I was still teetering like, and we're gonna talk about it, but I was still teetering like, you know, I don't want to let you down and not finish, you know, my commitments to Chasing Dallas. But at the same time, it was just so much going on.
It was a lot going on. It really was. It honestly was a lot going on.
But I kick myself in the ass every time I turn on Netflix. I'm like, my face literally could have been right here.
Your face could have been right there.
My player profile is still up there.
On the show?
On the show, yeah. Well, website. When you go to the website, it has, I'll send it to you.
Oh, that's so cool. You send it to me.
Shit, I ain't on that TV, so it don't matter.
Okay, well, let's go back to 2021. Okay, so we're in the car, and Deandre is basically telling me I am going to audition for The Circle. So at this point, okay, I'm like, okay, God, it must be meant for me to audition for The Circle because you keep making the circle thing pop up everywhere I turn, and okay, I'm going to do it. And Deandre is talking to me. He like, yeah, because I know what they're looking for. You know, I can, you know, he basically telling me like step by step. I've never told this side of the story. I'll never say. But Deandre was like, I know exactly what they looking for. This is what you need to have in your video. This the points you need to hit on. This is what you need to do. I know the producer name you put down to say that referred you. Like, no, nigga, you gonna get on this show. You gonna get on this show. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna get on the show. We go to Nene's that night. We meet Nene, which was fun.
Johnny Blaze, let's not forget her.
Well, you know, I had already known Johnny Blaze
but I didn't, and she didn't know my money.
What happened?
No,
Oh
go ahead. We'll talk about her later.
No, let's talk about it now. We got to go in order. My brain don't work like that.
Because remember, the bitch was trying to get out of the fuck paying the $600 for the section. Remember, she snuck into the section. She snuck into Santana's section, thinking that they were going to let her have the section. And then she was literally going back because remember, first she was in the section with us. We were vibing, hanging out, and I was like, "Oh, she's kind of cool." Remember, I kept telling, I'm like, "Oh, she's cool. She's nothing like I would have thought she was." Like we were vibing with her, and then she snuck into Santana's section, and then
but Santana wasn't there that first night.
Santana was there because remember, Santana, that all happened the same night. Santana ended up leaving early.
Okay, so that's not our hosted then.
Yes, yeah, but it's yes.
Because we didn't pay for our section.
No, we didn't pay for it.
Right. I was hosted then.
And remember in the end, they did some funny shit with the bottles, but it just was, we were just like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, you know, I mean, no tea, no shade.
I don't want you to get in trouble with Nene, so I'm trying to watch what I say.
No. I can't get in trouble with nobody. No tea, no shade. You know, honestly, from that very night when me and Deandre went out, whatever paperwork the people was talking about, Deandre stood right there and talked to them. And when I asked about it, Deandre looked at me and said, everything's okay. You know what I'm saying? So at that point in which a black man telling you everything's okay, bitch, I'm not asking them, everything is all right.
Yeah, they tried to bait and switch, and they were like, oh, no, we said you can have a hookah and one bottle. Y'all got like two things. It was just a bunch of stuff. And then they were like, remember, the security was like really aggressive that night. And I was just like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, we got the money. Let's just pay for it. And then the security was into it with Johnny. And they were like, well, you were at this section and this section. And so remember, she was getting embarrassed. They were they were kicking her out of Nene's club. Please tell me you don't remember this. They were literally kicking her and her little crew out of Nene's club. And I was like, yo, this is embarrassing. I will pay for it. And
I don't know about the kicking out. See, I wasn't over there. You was over there. I don't know what was going on.
I swear to God, they were kicking her out, and she was trying to explain herself because I remember she had $100 bill. She kept trying to give them $100 bill.
I remember her digging up her purse.
Yes, because remember, Johnny didn't drink. It was her friends that were drinking. And so she was like, I only have one drink. And I was like, yo, this is embarrassing. Like, don't worry about it. I'll just give you the money. You just pay me back. And they're like, oh, thank you. And remember, they kept saying, oh, that's Johnny's manager. And I'm like, I'm not her manager. I'm just over here with her. But yeah. Because that's why we didn't end up going to the birthday party on top of other stuff. Because remember, she was trying to be funny, like, who is that? Oh, he can pay $100 to get into my birthday party. Bitch, if we gonna spill the tea, let's spill the tea.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes. I was supposed to go to the birthday party and I was like, oh, can I bring my friend from the other night? And they were like, oh, you gotta pay $100. But I was like, well, maybe she forgot, but I don't want to say like this the nigga that paid for your section. You know, I didn't want to get into all that. Because I didn't know, and I was like, okay, well, we just not going. But anyways, okay. So then at this point, we're talking like regularly, like we're texting, we're talking like every day, right? And I won't say we're hanging out every day, but like we're going out often.
No, it was literally every day. From that day, it was like we were boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and you know what? You know, and this is the part where I get emotional, but it's only because I gotta be honest. Meeting Deandre that day, going to Nene's, that was like the mark of like life is getting better. You know, like I just remember smiling that whole day. Like I didn't think about nothing that had happened. Like it was just, I just felt like I had like a new battery was like in my back. You know what I'm saying? And what really attracted me to you was that like we would talk about business, we would talk about art, we would talk about music, we would talk about future, we would talk about like how to be better, how to get better, which was something I wasn't used to in talking to other, you know, Black queer men my age. You know, everybody want to talk about bullshit, you know? Mm-hmm. But you was just on a whole like different wavelength. And so, like you said, we were hanging out every day. Do you want to fast forward to the night I had to audition? I had to send my audition tape in for the circle.
Where did we even fucking eat at? I don't even remember where we ate at.
I was not with you that night.
Oh,
you came to me.
That's right. I was at my friend's birthday brunch at Blue.
You was at another what?
Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah, and I was sick as hell. And I remember you kept saying, because you had got your makeup done. What's her name? Erica? I want to call her Erica.
It was Erica, yeah.
Erica was over there.
What?
What happened? Oh my God.
That was the night everybody knew you were not going to work with Erica again. So much shit happened.
Oh, what happened? No, say it.
She was arguing with you about your makeup, and you were like, I don't like it, it's too dark. And she just was very like, it was just aggression. It was so much aggression. And I remember we were texting each other, and I was like, please calm down. Because you're like, your whole facial expressions were showing like, bitch, I'm ready for you to get out of here. And I remember she was supposed to come out with us, but then you disinvited her, but you did it so nicely. You kind of were like, yeah, I just want to hang out with Dre tonight. Is that okay? And she packed up her makeup bag. And I think that was the last time we seen Erica. Yes. Yes. No, you know what? Erica came back to do your hair. Remember when she had braided your hair? Yeah. Oh gosh.
People don't understand. A lot of times I've looked fucked up on Chasing Atlanta was because of Erica with the bullshit.
Yeah, shout out to Erica.
Shout out to Erica, because that was my baby. You know, like that was my girl. And she looked out for me. And so I was really just trying to look out for her now that I was in a better space. But I'm just like, girl, like, dang. Come on. But shout out to Erica. Anyways. Okay, y'all. So the night. So this is the night we're going back to Nene's, right? They've invited us out for another night for me to come up there. No,
we were going to Johnny Blaze's birthday party.
We were supposed to go to Johnny Blaze's birthday party. Correct, but we ended up at Nene's, right?
No, we didn't end up anywhere.
Oh, we didn't go. We never went anywhere. Okay, you know what? Because I just know at that time, Nene's, like, we would just go to Nene's because they would, like, treat me real nice. You know, Shout out to Nene and shout out to her staff. Because, honestly, anytime I walked in that building, they cleared a path for me immediately. Dre, am I lying?
No, for real.
And that's why I was like, you know, like, Nene, she my girl. Because when they was doing all that shit with prices and shit, anytime I walked in that building, they immediately got me a section. And I appreciate that. Anyways, so the night we're supposed to go out, this is also the night that I'm doing my audition for The Circle, right? I typed up my script, I've rehearsed it, I've done all those things. Dre is coming over to coach me through it, to help me film it. This motherfucker come over and is throwing up everywhere. Dying.
Yes.
Like sick. Like hurling. And I was shocked.
And I was like, you do not look like you want to go out. I'm like, I'm gonna make it. I'll be fine. We can do this. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And then that was like, imagine just meeting somebody. Y'all are like instant friends. And then it's like, I'm coming over to your house. I think that was like my third or fourth time at your house. And now I need to go into your bathroom to throw up. Like it was, and remember, I was not just like once or twice. It was like back to back.
Yeah, you were going back to back.
Yeah, it was.
But I was being, it was okay.
That was a night that I think like our love affair began, honestly. you could tell the surface story first.
Okay, well, I'll tell the world what happened. Okay, so this is what happened, right? So DeAndre's like, just go ahead and do your tape. Go ahead and do your tape. And I'm like, what? He's like, just do it. And I didn't turn it in last minute, but I think what it was at the time that I had auditioned, which at this point I think I had to audition like in June, July, right? It had to be.
I don't think because in July that's when you were already doing your
cast it. So it had to be June. So in June, DeAndre was like, they're about to start filming soon. So this is really like a shot in the dark, really. So anyways,
last ones, weren't you?
I think I was the second to last. I think Xanthi was technically the last one, I believe. I think. At least that's what she said they tell her, but I ain't never contested it. Anyways, DeAndre goes in the bathroom to handle his business, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do my audition tape. So in the audition tape that I sent into Netflix that got me the job for season 5 of The Circle, one of their top reality TV shows still to this day, and still to this day in many regions, it's his face that represents said season. Anyways, I just want to say that for bitches that, that forget. Bitch. Anyways. Anyways, as I'm trying to do my video, DeAndre is in the background vomiting. And it's me using the fact that he's vomiting that I need to like talk up and stay high energy is what got me through the tape. And you know, long story short, he got on the show. And like just the fact that being on that show was like just like it was just such a still one of the proudest moments in my life. And like it wouldn't have happened if he wasn't in my life, I think is what honestly like really bonded us and like keeps us bonded, you know? Because I honestly would not be on the circle if it were not for Deandre, like basically choking me out, saying, bitch, you know, you need to be on the show. Like you were supposed to be on that show. Like they're going to take you. And I didn't, at the time I did not see it. I didn't believe it. And I just remember like every step, like as we kept going, I would call Deandre, like, ooh, Deandre, they called me back. Ooh, Deandre, I gotta go do this interview. Okay, I gotta go get an outfit. Okay, now they want me to talk to the execs. Okay, now, okay, we got the plane ticket. We finna go. Like it was just, it was such a
there. We were like sneaking, talking like, oh, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. It was fun. Until them bitches cut me out of the fucking show. Pussy assholes.
Okay, no, let's talk about it. But
they had us do messages like for the people we loved.
Well, we could be messy, but in order to be that messy, we got to go back.
Okay, let's go back.
Okay, so remember, I think one of our best moments, still to this day, maybe top 3, is when we went to Miami.
No, for real, that is my favorite. Did you see on the little screen that I did for my students? I had our pictures there.
I did. I saw. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like no. You talk about it. I'm talking too much.
But we went to Miami for it was swim week, right?
Swim week.
Swim week. And I remember, I think you went to Miami first, didn't you? And then I flew down there just to hang out for like a couple of days. And literally, we just had a ball. Like, we literally woke up, and that's where your infamous ass picture when I pushed you in the pool the first time. That's where that came from. It just was a vibe. Like, we literally had no cares in the world. We were just there. Enjoying. Literally, remember that steak across the fucking street? That steak was so good.
I think honestly that something about that breakfast and you and I being in Miami and that really nice hotel that you have got a really nice hotel, and we were just like, and I think it was like a random ass Wednesday or Thursday, some random shit like that. And I just think us just being there, we were like, oh, we're just gonna get up and go eat something or go drink something. And we found this extremely nice restaurant with the meal was so beautiful. I think that was the moment that like really, really we bonded because it was such an amazing experience. What do you think about that? Like made it so amazing. What do you think?
I honestly felt like that was a moment because, you know, when you're friends with somebody, you like when you're friends with you just hang out locally, you don't really get to see how a person is in like their own element.
Okay.
We were there because honestly, the place was very ritzy. So like people there had way more money than what we had, but it was just like us just being there, just like in our element. And then we were talking about like our goals, our dreams, because remember you had in Miami, you did your final thing before you left for the circle. Remember?
I did. No, that was like my second to last. But you just reminded me, I did do an interview because I remember I had to go to Funky Dineva's room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And so and there's so much stuff is coming back to memory. But I feel like we were just there talking about our plans and just it was cool. You are so messy. I already know what you're about to say. You are so messy.
I'm not gonna say anything.
You are so messy.
No, if it's what I think it is, no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna do that. But what I will, okay, let's ask this. At this point, are we dating? What are we doing? What's going on?
That's when I'm trying to think back to then. I feel like at that point we were just like enjoying the vibes, and you know, it was just we kept having a conversation like, oh, we should do a reality show where we dated. And you remember we were like strategically planning our show. And I think like we were like speaking stuff into existence. So literally like every step of the way, what we said we were going to do and document, it just started to get like real. We were like holding hands. We were little punks in Miami. It was fun.
It was cute.
It was cute. Yeah.
I wouldn't say we dated. I would just say I still don't even know what to really say, you know, because I'm just being honest. We've never had sex. Like we've never gone that far. But you know, like you said, we've held hands. I don't know. It's really hard to say. But whatever it was really great.
Yeah.
I think until I think it's,
no, nothing.
Until what? No, say it.
No, I was thinking of something else. Oh yes, Quez. When Quez came back, because bitch, you lied to me about yeah. You didn't want us to know that Quez was back, but I feel like Darius knew.
Probably. And okay, so this is what happened. I don't think I've ever told you the full story either. Okay, so up until Quez coming back, right?
Yes, I know. You know what? Yes, I knew. You want to know how I knew? Because remember, what's the sweet lady's name that does the facials? Do you remember who I'm talking about in Miami? She's friends with Funky Dineva and
Lardnett.
Yes, remember she wanted to do our facials and she wanted to record them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I forget, I think I ended up flying home a day early or something like that. But you went with Quez. And then when I asked you about it, because I was like, I think I seen Quez or heard Quez in the background of your video. You was like, no, what you talking about? And then like a week later, you was like, Quez is back.
Okay, so this is what happened. So I think honestly, at the time we were in Miami, if I'm being okay, I'm gonna be honest. I want you to go. No, you got to go along with me. Okay, just listen to me. I think something had happened, right? And I honestly think it scared me. Like I think it's like I got afraid because
session.
Oh my god. I'm not. Go ahead. You
person who said bumping purses, baby, it was no purses there.
Oh, Deandre, I didn't know you was gonna say it. Did you say what you just said again?
Nothing.
No. I'm thinking you didn't say it, but say it. And I didn't react to this way. Not. I gotta tell. I just want to make sure you said it.
I didn't say anything.
I heard you say it. You said the shower. I mean, do we want to talk about it? You done said it in front of 272 people now, and then they gonna be down in the comments saying we didn't say it, so now we got to say it. I didn't want to say it. You was being messy.
Yeah.
I mean, we grown, we grown. Anyways, okay, so we had.
Tell your mom plug her ears.
No, it's not bad. Okay, so remember I told y'all, me and Deandre, we don't know if we dating, we don't know what's going on. Like, it's been really like danced around, played around, but like I do feel like we did express that I just had got out of a relationship at the time. You had just got out of a really emotional relationship, which is something I think that also bonded us as well too. Like we had just came out of like these horrible things where we were like feeling very emotionally attached to it, and then like it just left us like in a distraught place. So we were always honest with like we don't want to, we don't want to do something and mess it up because of all these other things. But like I like you, you like me, we have a good time. It looks promising, so we just gonna keep it like in this safe place, right? There we go. I think that's a great way to explain it. We kept it in like a real safe place. It was real brown sugar.
And
like
until somebody came around that you thought was interested in me, and then you would do the Eddie flip out.
Okay, one thing at a time.
Okay,
let's hold on to that. Let's finish the shower and then because I don't never remember me flipping out, but it makes sense. But just 1 second. Okay, so we were in Miami, right? And we were there for Miami Fashion Week. Miami Fashion Week had invited me to come because of all the work I had done with Top Model. And so, bitch, we was sitting front row and we was going into all these parties. Now, it was hot as fuck and it messed up the experience, honestly. We went to some shows and they were really nice. Like, it was really cool to be at an actual fashion week, but it was humid as fuck. Like, it was horrible. Anyways, so we're at DeAndre's hotel and we decide to go in the pool for a swim, which is where the iconic photo from the circle that I sent to Chaz, that's where that photo comes from. DeAndre took that photo and the video of him pushing me in the pool. So we get in the pool and we're like, oh no. We were at the pool at Funky Dineva's pool. Oh, he's gonna kill me when he hears this. He's gonna kill me. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me put my camera back in focus. Oh, we is telling business. Okay, anyways. So we're at the pool at Funky Dineva's place. Oh, because this is after I had just done my last thing for the circle, right? Oh, look, I had just probably done my interview, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was feeling happy. So we down there, we drinking. It's a very nice pool. It overlooks the water. It has it's very cute. I've taken pictures, and every time I go to this place, I take a video there because it's just so cute to me. And so we're in the pool, we're chilling, and then we look down at the phone. We're like, oh shoot, we need to hurry up and get to the swim thing before it's too late. And we probably honestly only had maybe 30 minutes to really get to the thing before it actually started.
And knowing Miami traffic, it was crazy.
Yes, traffic that week was crazy. It was humid, and we literally had to shower because we couldn't go up in there smelling like chlorine, right? And so I'm not gonna say the show, but in one of his previous shows, there's a scene where he's in the shower with other people, whatever. And I asked him about it, and he explained it. He was like, "Oh, I could be in the shower with friends or whatever." I was like, oh, "Okay, well, cool. At this point, that's my homeboy, and I don't think we finna do. Ain't nothing finna happen." Okay, I've said enough. Now it's your turn. Go ahead. You brought it up. No, you bring it home.
Yeah, that was that. So it really was a platonic shower, and then something happened, and then it literally was like, no, it was no longer platonic. And then I think we both realized, hold on. Ooh.
So this is what happened. So,
oh my Lord.
No, because I don't listen. We got to explain it. So I got in the shower and I got all the way to the front, right? Because I'm like, I'm not turning around. I'm not doing shit. I'm getting in the shower. I'm washing my body and I'm getting out. I didn't even have my contacts in. I said, I don't need to see shit. We just need to get in, get out. I honestly didn't have no contacts in my eyes. For real, I took them out. And we kissed. That's all. That's okay. We can say that. We kissed. If
you're going to tell it. Because
okay, we'll finish. Damn.
And you try to dig down and then it yeah.
I don't remember none of that.
Yeah.
There was a moment.
What's the moment? Lisa, I didn't know it was going to be that big. And yeah.
Okay, now you lying.
Do you need me to?
Now you lying. Now you doing a lot. Okay, I shit like that. Don't remember that. I feel like you're lying. I feel like you're doing a lot now, Deandre. Okay, now just calm down. Just calm down. No, don't do all that.
Do you want me to bring out the receipts?
No, don't bring out the receipts. Please don't. Yeah. You've already brought out enough receipts.
Yeah, no, it was, and then I think after that, it was literally right after that, we just kind of instantly went back to
Yeah, we went back to normal. Yeah. It was very best man, that college night, but we just didn't do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do all that.
We only put the tip in.
You're doing a lot. Okay, you got to behave.
You said you wouldn't tell the truth.
I've never said nothing about putting no tip in. You being bananas now, Deandre. Now you're doing a lot. I don't know why you're doing that. Now you're doing a lot. I don't remember that.
What's the next
question? You being very deviant. We're gonna fight. Anyways.
What's the next question, Tamika?
Oh, wait. Okay. All right, let's stop.
Okay.
Yeah. The next question is, I'm honest, but I'm not gonna say everything. Can we just stop? We just honestly said enough. We've said enough, y'all. We've given the people what they want to hear. Can we not anymore? All right. Okay, so I feel like after all that happened, we had a conversation where we were just we should just really be friends, you know? And it wasn't anything happened or there was a falling out or a thing. I just think we really were enjoying each other and being around each other and being able to talk to one another. That we were just let's just protect that. Let's not add any extra layers to it that could potentially damage it. Would you agree?
Yeah, because both of us literally were fresh out, and so we don't want to trauma bond and make it, that it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, no tea, no shade. You know, at the time, to my friends, Deandre was my man. He wasn't my man, but he was my man. And, you know, like, I wasn't paying for shit. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, I wasn't used to that. You know, no tea, no shade. I ain't trying to read nobody. But I just came out of a situation where mama was cracking the bank each and every time. So to go from that to, bitch, you know, I'm riding. What kind of car were you driving? I forgot.
I had a Benz at that time.
Bitch, I'm driving right seat at the Benz, bitch. You know, we eating out not every night, but every other night. You know what I'm saying? He helping me. Deandre is the one who got me back to rapping and who was like, bitch, you need to film your music videos. So that music video that I dropped that went crazy on my social media to that Erica Banks toot that with the pink, Deandre was there for that one, and the one I did with Nicki Minaj. That one didn't get a great reaction. But the Erica Banks one did. Deandre is there like helping me, pushing me. So like Deandre has become like a everyday part of my life. And we get to a point where we're like, we just gonna be friends. And then Quez comes back like a week later.
I honestly feel like that's where the decline started coming from.
I would agree.
Yeah, and I think at that point, it went from, even though we knew what our situation was, I feel like we were trying to like protect how he felt, and you know what I mean? Because even it wasn't really an incident, but you guys started filming Chasing Atlanta again, and when you were doing a scene, I forget what you were doing, but I had came to the scene. And even there, remember he caused like that big deal and was like, he didn't speak to me, he didn't yada yada. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It just got really weird. So I kind of like, you know me, I distance myself when I feel like the energy shifted. So that was that.
Yeah, I mean, you know. Okay, so what happened was it was after one night Deandre had took me and his friends out to, remember that loft place like down there by MLK? I can't remember exactly the name of it. You used to always have me out. Oh, we should talk about that night. Remember when we went to go see Chris at Michelle?
You're coming. Yeah, and actually that was the night we hung out with the girl from Jocelyn's Cabaret too.
Boss Tech, when's the party? When I say, and I'm honestly, Deandre, I ain't even trying to toot your horn. I have not partied like that since you and I was partying that summer. Like, and we was out with the girls.
We were. And then remember we used to even tiptoe through Bulldogs every now and then too.
Mm-hmm.
And then your ass would, Oliver, your favorite move. I used to hate going out with you because as soon as the clock struck 12:15, your Uber was on the way. And you were like, all right, hug my neck. I'm headed out. I'm like, what the fuck? It's not you. You're like, I'm out of here. You didn't stay up very long.
No.
But go ahead.
No, and you didn't used to like when I used to call my car. That used to make you so upset. You were like, why are you calling your car? I'm like, well, because you want to stay and have a good time. I don't want to make you leave. You know, enjoy yourself. Shit, you know?
We came together, we leaving together. And we just used to vibe. It used to be so much.
We used to vibe. We used to have so much fun. Like, so much fun. Okay, so this is what happened. So after one night of us having a lot of fun, right? I came back home and the nigga was at my doorstep. Nigga was there. Like, and I had just saw him in Miami, right? Because he found out I was down there. And that was our first time talking since he left. So I really needed that closure to talk to him. Like, you know, what happened? What's been going on? Da-da-da-da. And then the next day, that was kind of like me offering him, like, you know, an olive branch. You know, you had left me, honestly, because you was, another person had came down. You know, we just not going to say all of it was just, you know, you was still conversing with your friends. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. And you had left me in Miami for some other boy. So don't do that. Anyways, so we had hung out in Miami that day, and so like we wasn't like talking, like it was very much so like a you know, like, you know, we back cool, like it ain't no animosity or nothing like that, but we wasn't talking, like it was, you know, I left him in Miami. I'm still thinking I'm going back to walk my life forward, bitch. And now that I think about it, I wonder if that nigga, because I know him now, I wonder if that nigga went on my social media and saw that I was around another guy. Because I talked to him recently, And he was like, yeah, I always go on your Instagram to see if you done started posting somebody else. So maybe he saw that I was posting you, maybe. And he said, oh no, what the fuck? Bitch, I'm thinking about that right now. Anyways, nigga was at the doorstep. And I was like what's going on? I don't.
Man.
Well, at the time, it was explained to me that like they were just coming to visit, you know, and if I'm being honest, they probably were trying to get back, you know. They were telling me they were visiting. So like I didn't think this was like a he moving back in type situation. Like I never thought that. Even when I left and went to Manchester, I still wasn't thinking that. And it was helping me because I needed somebody to watch Cookie and I didn't want to burden my mama. You know, I didn't want to burden. I probably didn't think was me and my mom even back talking at the time. I don't even know. Maybe like not like all the way. I didn't want to take it to my grandparents. That just would have been too much. So him coming back actually was a great benefit to me. And I think that's what I was kind of greedy and lazy. I was like, oh well, this is great. Like I don't mind him being here at the house. But I did not want to tell nobody because I didn't. Honestly, my plan was to go to Manchester. I'm just being real. Let the nigga stay at my house, and then when I get back, send his ass on, like, cause you know my dog is done, you know, and not tell nobody, you know. But at the point at which y'all started finding out, I kind of felt like, okay, well, everybody know he back, you know. I might as well, you know, let's see what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
But I definitely do believe that him coming back and however he got back, definitely was like a bomb. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
We've never talked about this. This is so cool.
I feel like, and Darius knows this because I've had the conversation with him before. It felt weird being like, I hate saying it because then I sound like selfish, but going from like a number one spot where we literally did everything together. Because times I would pop up at your house, you would pop up at my house. We just did that. That's just what we were doing. And then it was kind of like, oh, you can't come over here, but I'm going to come to you. You remember, I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel away. Why can't I, you know? So I feel like there it kind of made me like, okay, so since I don't have access, you know what I mean? Like, okay, let me start finding other things to do. So,
you know, I'll be very honest. Now, of course, hindsight is always 2020. And I know things. I regret that so much.
Yeah.
I regret it so much. I really do. And if we being all the way honest, I do think, if I'm just being real, I do think allowing that energy back before I went to film The Circle is kind of what affected my performance, or like that focus I had at that time a little bit, if I'm being completely honest. Like I really, in some spiritual energy level, I do believe me doing that because I was not supposed to do that. Like that was like a no-no. Right. And I went against that no-no. I do believe I paid a price for that. And some things like not fully coming into like its fullest potential. I really strongly do believe that. Yeah.
But your opportunities aren't over. It's just getting started. So
yeah. You live and you learn.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do The Circle. We get back. We had like a small falling out, right? It was around your birthday, and I really feel like you was doing a lot, but go. I mean, you tell your side, tell your experience.
Literally, you came back. My birthday was already underway, and I was turning 29, I think. Was I turning 29? Yes, and I was like, I got my birthday planned. You know, when your best friend's back, because we could talk up until you got into the house. And remember when you were going into the house, you were like, hey, they're taking my phone. I can't talk anymore. So we didn't talk for what? Almost 2-3 weeks, right?
Almost 2 weeks. Before you move on, I want to talk about the home video. So, okay, so when you're in The Circle, they ask you if you make it to the top, whatever, who are the people you want to get your call home? And so it was on a packet. And I put Deandre Fuller, right? Deandre is the first person that you call if I make it to the finals, because I felt like as the person responsible for getting me to this place, and like at this point we're dream building and doing all these things. I feel like as a thank you, he needs to have this moment, you know. And honestly, at that point, to me, he was the most deserving person in my life at that time that I felt like should have it, especially with him being directly tied to being the reason why I'm even there. And so the second person was my grandparents, because everybody know I love my grandparents. Nene and Granny can't do no wrong. I had to give a third one. So I put my mama and Quez. I ain't gonna lie, we're just being honest. I told them, I said, get Deandre. If you can't get Deandre, get my grandparents. And I said, you know, if we just got to get my mama, which honestly, in the grand scheme of things, when I saw it, it still warmed my heart and it touched me. But when I did make it to the finals and I did get my video, I was like, I had to make them play it twice because the first thought in my head was like, well, what the fuck happened that Deandre on my grandparents couldn't send no tape? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, they reached out. They were like, "Oh, all of us making it to the finals. Send him a video." And so, like, we set it up. We did the video. Like, we even did two. It was because at the time I could tell that they were structuring it for you guys to like be flirty because they were like, "Oh, do you know if he has any love interests?" Yada yada yada. So I know how to play that for production. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, good job, I'm here for you. Yada yada yada. Make it heartfelt. And then when I was like, "Did you get my video?" Remember you came back? I'm like, "Did you get my video?" You was like, "No, they didn't show me a video of you." And I'm like, "Oh, damn."
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, but it's okay. It literally, in all honesty, I was just happy that you made it through. Like when you called me, you're like, "Okay, I'm going into the house." I was really, really excited for you. I was excited for you once they sent you your stuff. So I was just happy that you were in the game and you were kicking ass. And and we can still run up on Chaz if you want to.
No, we gotta leave Chaz alone.
Sweet.
And so we come back. I feel like you're being a diva for your birthday.
I was not. My birthday was already underway, and then you said, "Hey, what do you need me to do?" I said, "I don't need you to do anything." Remember, I said I got everything covered. I have this, and you were like, "Well, I feel like everybody else is doing something for you. Let me support you in some way." I said, "Well, if you want to, you can just hire a videographer and the photographer." Because remember, I was having a hard time securing somebody. Either I found somebody. Something either way, but I didn't have a concrete person I wanted to use.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And you said, "Oh, or was it a DJ?" I think it was a DJ. It was one of the two. And you were like, "Okay, I got you. I can do that. That's simple." And then I think shit has started falling. Remember, the chef didn't show up the day before. The dessert lady canceled literally the morning of and was like, "Oh, it's too far of a drive. I'm not going to make it." It was just ghetto.
But you were snapping on me before then.
I snapped on you because you were like, I said, "Hey, what's going on with?" I feel like, was it a videographer or a DJ?
You asked me to get a videographer, which I had got a videographer. However, when you asked me again, I didn't fucking know what you was talking about. So like my response was like, huh? Like, because we were working on other stuff as well. Yeah. Like we were always ideating. So I'm like, a videographer, what are you talking about? And I feel like because I didn't automatically know what you was talking about translated to you that I hadn't done it or wasn't taking it serious. And then I felt like you just jumped out on the deep end and was like snapping at me. And I'm like, I don't even know what okay. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I got one. But by the time I said I had already got one, you had already found one. You didn't want to budge. And I wasn't finna fight with you.
No, it was not that. I did.
That's how I remember it.
You said, "Oh, no," because I said, "What's going on with it?" You're like, "Oh, what? Yada, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to." You could have told me. Yada yada yada. Okay, don't even worry about it. And you can't say that I snapped because I was very calm. I'm very passive aggressive to the people I love, and I was not.
Well, that's snapping. Being passive aggressive to me is snapping.
I said, "It's okay. Don't worry about it. I don't need you to do anything for me." Remember, I even told you and my sister. I said, "I'm good. I don't need y'all's help. I'll figure it out. I can get it done." And then you were like, you kept going. You was like, "Oh, well, I don't get how it makes you mad." And I'm like, "Anytime you need me, I'm there for you." And then I said, you were like self-absorbed or something like that. And then you got everybody into the mix. It was Darius, and Darius was like, "No, he's not self-absorbed. Eddie's there for everybody. You need to apologize."
Did I really?
Yes, you did. It was
oh my God.
Shit. And I'm like, I'm not apologizing. Remember that day we were in my apartment and Darius was going in. Darius was like,
"Oh yes, I remember this. Oh yes. Yeah.
Y'all were trying to gang up on me, and I was like,
no. I don't remember. I remember how I remembered it.
And you never let me live that moment down. Anytime something's going on, I'm like, "Hey, do you have plans for XYZ?" "Yeah, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna support because I don't want to be self-absorbed." I'm like, "See,
yes,
you do shit."
And I was just like, it was just, first of all, it honestly probably was. I have been babied by you so much, so to hear you talk to me that way probably was I was like, wait, what's going on? You know, because I could be very selfish. You know, I'm grown enough to me that I could be very selfish and very territorial and very, you know, like this is mine. And so to hear you speak to me that way, I probably was gagged. Like, oh my God, my feelings are so hurt, you know? But yeah, anyways, we got past that, right?
Yeah.
And then Chasing Dallas. Okay, wait. Yeah, Chasing Dallas comes into the mix. But really, you have been trying to get on Chasing Atlanta for years. Talk about Chasing Atlanta real quick.
Hold on, bitch. Let's not say I was trying to get on Chasing Atlanta because I was not trying to get on Chasing Atlanta for years. What happened with Chasing Atlanta, remember, I just wanted to make a cameo. I was like, oh, I don't really want to be on the show. Remember, my whole strategy was, who did I say I wanted to be?
Marlo?
Yeah. I said, if anything, I just want like a little Marlo role. Come in, you know, just pick, you know.
Deandre, what's your sign? What's your sign right fast? You're a Capricorn?
Scorpio.
You're a Scorpio?
Yes. Yeah. And so
me and Scorpios. It's crazy. Me and Scorpios, I talk about this all the time. I don't know what it is that draws me to Scorpios or draws Scorpios to me. But when it is beautiful, it is the most, when the relationship of me and a Scorpio is beautiful, it's beautiful. You're a Scorpio. Dr. Helling's a Scorpio. T.S. Madison's a Scorpio. Rico Cassadine's a Scorpio. Some of my like other friends and like other like situations are Scorpios. When it's together, it is beautiful. When it ain't, it ain't. Like it's just ain't at all. Okay, wow. Okay, keep going.
But that was that. And then remember we were like, we went out to eat with Dario, and we were just sitting there just talking, having a regular conversation. And then Dario was like, well, what do you want to bring to the table? And I was like, well, shit, I don't know. I do this, I do this. He was like, well, girl, everybody do this, everybody do that. You're going to have to let me know. And I was like, okay. So I'm thinking I have time to plan it. And then I remember us walking out and he was like, you're such a stupid bitch. That was your time to get on Chasing Atlanta. You did not get on Chasing Atlanta. He's not going to cast you for it. I was like, that's okay. I remember literally to that day I did something. I had seen Andario out, and I was talking to Andario, and then he was like, literally, first thing he said, what? You trying to ask me about Chasing Atlanta? I said, no, I was just coming to speak to you. He was like, oh, hey, boo. And so I'm like, okay. But I remember you called me. You was like, look, this is what we're going to do. You're going to come film some scenes with me. We're going to get you in there. And then, you know, next season, if you want to come on, you can come on next season. And that's what we did. It was fun. Like literally the cameos in Chasing Atlanta were fun for me. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to be like, you know, in a mix, do little shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah. We're not gonna also talk about what you did at the table that like
what I do.
So when Dario's asking him like, what's your storyline? This nigga grabs me. And like, I won't say you kissed me. I won't say you went as far as kissed me, but you did something where I was like, visibly like, nigga, like what? Like what do you were basically inferring that you and I would have some type of romance going on, right? Which still at the time it was still it was sticky icky. I mean, it was normal, but it was still sticky icky a little bit. I'm like, nigga, I'm not gonna do this with you. Like, what the fuck? What I remember is, I feel like honestly, you're one of the smartest people I know.
Thank you.
And you speak so well. And when it comes to like how you view the entertainment business and how like you can do this, that can support this, and you take that money, you do it with this, and you know, you get on these shows and you do this and da 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 da. I just feel like you had such a great grasp on like what a reality TV show wanted. We had already talked about Chasing Atlanta, what, you know, I was sharing you with some things where like the direction of the show, what they wanted to see. Right. And I just felt like this smart businessman just got in this meeting and was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm thinking, like, you know, you talk different when you're talking, and this is not to downplay anybody, because to this day, I still have a lot of respect for Dario. I think the whole is shady, but I still have a lot of respect for Dario. So I was just like, I'm thinking we're just talking as friends, because normally when you doing production things, we separate personal from, you know what I mean? Like when we did Chasing Dallas, although we went out after the auditions and stuff, but it was two separate things. So I'm thinking we're just sitting here conversing. This isn't my first time seeing you. This is, you know what I mean? Like,
you didn't think it was the business meeting. You thought y'all were just talking.
Yeah.
So you know what? Now that you say that, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Because I mean, you know, I know how to put up. So I'm like, that's why when you said it, I'm like, well, shit, I thought we were just sitting here talking.
But see, the thing was, me and him had went out because we were talking about season 5. That's when I signed my contract to come back for season 5.
Yeah.
Because officially come back, like talk about like my storyline and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Had I gone to Manchester?
No, you were about to leave.
I was about to leave.
Your stuff early because you were about to leave.
Yes, and I took the photo of him and I posted. Guess who's coming back to Chasing at that time. So I guess in my brain I thought, well, if I'm here talking to Dario about now he's asking you about, okay, well, if you do join the show, what would you do? I'm thinking, okay, DeAndre, he finna hit him with a 1-2. He finna talk about how he know this hoe from back then, and he know this, and he know this, and this what he want to do, and this what we finna do. And I just felt like, you was just, like you said, you was just chilling. I was like, now wait a minute, which is probably where did I really call you stupid bitch? I had to be playing.
You really did. Cause I was like, okay, damn, is it that serious? He was like, yes, because now you're not going to be on the season. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know. But
because I really wanted you on.
It was like it would have been something fun to do, but at that time, remember, I was really trying to get into property and stuff, so I wasn't really stunting it. But it was fun for what it was worth. And then, okay, you want to talk about Dallas?
Okay, yes. Let's talk about Chasing Dallas. We're officially now talking. Okay, so guys, we gave y'all that entire backstory to get y'all to what y'all now are seeing unfold on Chasing Dallas.
Yes. So Chasing Dallas, literally, it came from that picture I took. Remember, I had just moved to Dallas, and I was just trolling, and so I put had my heart broken in Houston.
Which I didn't know you were leaving Atlanta. I looked up, and you were gone, and I was deeply offended.
I didn't tell anybody because remember me and you were like talking on and off, and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be in Dallas or not. And then I remember he was like, what's going on? Because when I dip off the face of the earth, I'm trying to like move and make things shake. And you were like, well, don't cut me out. Remember you were mad at me about your birthday? That's another story. Yeah, because you were like, oh, I was there for your birthday. You weren't there for mine. And then you had like blocked me. We were literally on the phone arguing. Yeah. He was like, arguing and cut you off. Oh, yeah.
Wait, what I said?
Give me a reason why I shouldn't cut you off. Yeah, you were going off. But I digress. So I had moved to Dallas.
But what were you doing? Just don't say I was going off. What did you do?
No, remember, I was being nice to you. I'm like, because I kept calling you, and you were like, why? You was like, you keep calling me like we friends. What's going on? I haven't talked to you in months, nigga. And I was like, because I'm trying to do XYZ. Yeah.
That sounds like me, though. Go ahead.
I had moved to Dallas, and remember when I came to Dallas, I did we go to Denver before? We went to Denver before we started doing Chasing Dallas, right?
No. Yes, we did. But I think you had already. Yeah, we went to Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before Chasing Dallas, yes.
I had already started inquiring about doing the stuff for the lounge. Remember, because when we went to Denver, that's when you and I had the conversation about doing everything with the lounge.
Doing the lounge.
And so when I did the hashtag, I forget, somebody wrote me and was like, hey, are you doing this season of Chasing Dallas? I was like, no. Because I remember at that point, I had never watched Chasing Dallas. I had just seen Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, are you doing Chasing Dallas? And I was like, no. And so I looked into it. I was like, oh, well, remember I called you. I'm like, what's going on with Chasing Dallas? I thought they canceled it. You were like, yeah, they did cancel it, but they're trying to bring it back, yada, yada, yada. If you want to do it, reach out to Markel, all that stuff. So we were just playing around, and somehow or another, Markel liked my picture. That's what happened when I did the Chasing Dallas. And so Markel liked my picture, and me and Markel started talking on Instagram. And he was like, you dragging your feet, either you're going to do it or you're not. We have the audition times this weekend, whatever. So I was like, fuck it, whatever. You're going to be here. Let me go do it. Mm-hmm. And so when I was contemplating on what I wanted my story, like what I wanted my chase to be, because remember at the time, I really had like a whole bunch of shit going on. Mm-hmm. That's when the whole stuff with my dad taking the money and all that stuff. So I was like, damn, do I really want to do this show? Let me just try it. It's not going to be bad. I've been around the Atlanta girls, and I know, it gets crazy, but it's not going to be too, So I did the audition, and we can be honest, right?
Yeah. And
remember, you were like, if you do this show, you're going to have to work because they don't believe in you. They don't think that this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Got to come with it. And so I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me jump in before we move on. Okay, so Chasing Dallas auditions come up, right? And I find out Deandre is in Dallas. But by that time we kind of like we had that discussion. I don't remember it being an argument. I feel like if I was saying give me a reason to cut you off, I had to be joking. I don't think I was going off
Yeah,
on you
no, we
saying
were
it.
just bickering. It was bickering.
Oh, okay, got you. But like we got back on another like a nice ground, right? And so again, this is my friend. We talk about business, and DeAndre has always come to me with ideas and be like, "Oh, I want to do this. Let's do this. I think this would be great. This is how we can do this." And you know, I think very highly of DeAndre. So I'm like, "Okay, shit. You know, just show me the way. You know, let's do it." And so I've always expressed to him how I feel like people have come on Chasing Reality and have really missed out on the opportunity to really make money. You know, like this is a niche audience of roughly, let's just say 75 to upwards to like 250,000 people watching weekly. You know, the show, I know the type of money I've been able to make and what I've been able to do on the show. I'm like, if somebody else just like really comes in the show and like really works it, you can really like really jumpstart something. And so to me, my friend sharing that he wants to now open up a lounge, I'm like, oh shit, nigga, that's amazing to show on Chasing Dallas. Right. And you know, I know this is going to be a watch season because everyone wants to see what the show is going to be like now that Reese's gone. Markel is doing it. It's going to be new people. This is going to be really, really great. And so I was like, yeah, nigga, you need to get on the show because we got a lounge to open up. And then that's where you then audition. Yeah. So what he's talking about is I was there for the Chasing Dallas auditions. You know, Markel and Darius don't want to give it to me. I just remember standing up and explaining why everybody who got casted on the show should be casted. And I wrote out the whole thing. I was like, this person is this person is this, da 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 da. His mama was in there. His mama was like, right. Anyways, Markel and Dario did not like DeAndre. They did not want him on the show at all. And I like fought. I was like, yo, no. Y'all gonna put him on the show, okay? Y'all gonna put my friend on the fucking show. I don't give a fuck. Y'all better put, this is my card. This is listen to Oliver. Put him on the show. Because I know my friend gonna go in there and kill it. Because, bitch, we got a lounge to fucking sell. You know what I'm saying? Okay, there you go.
And if they did not like me until it was, you know, we tape out of order. But they didn't like me until our third time taping. But it was like my intro to the show. Because remember, now, if for anybody that knows anything about reality TV, you know what I'm talking about. Who was mic'd? Remember, I was not mic'd. That first, when we did the big group scene, I wasn't mic'd until halfway through it. And then that's when they started taking people's mics and was like, okay, play him on a mic because, right? So when let me just roll through it. So they say we went out that night. Remember, after the auditions, and me and
we went out that night. That was a great night, DeAndre.
It was. We had a lot of fun. And so we went out.
That was the night you stopped me from going to jail.
Yes. Why they try to act like I'm the bad guy? They don't know the other side to you. Because you was about to tear that place up.
Tell them what happened. I want to laugh. I haven't heard the story in such a long time.
The man, something, we ordered drinks or something like that.
We were lit, first of all.
Yeah, we were drunk as fuck.
Like, we were lit.
Home already. It was bad. And we were on the strip in Dallas. And so we were at this bar. I don't even remember the name of the bar. But I think you paid
Lava.
Was it Lava?
I know we went to Lava that night. I just threw it out there to see if it would stick, but it's not.
It could have been. It could have been.
It could have been though.
But I think that night you had paid for drinks. You had paid for that round of drinks, and the man was trying to say you didn't pay for all the drinks. So remember, he took the drinks and like dumped them out, and he was like, "No, you didn't pay for them." And you, I don't want to offend anybody, but you were calling the man all types of names, and you were like, "He better know who I am. Y'all better get him. I'm gonna jump across this thing. Y'all better get him." Remember, I literally had to like grab your arm, and then you kept talking. I had like my hand over your mouth. I'm like, Eddie, stop. You was like, y'all better get him because Florida finna come out. I'm like, please, man. Remember, I had to literally drag you to the other side of the club, and then I had to go find the manager. And I'm like, can we please just get our drinks so we can go? The man gave us the drinks, and he's like, I'm so sorry, yada, yada, yada. And we got the fuck out of there. Yeah. It was crazy.
Was I being dramatic?
A little bit. It was justified, but the names you were calling him was like, oh.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, because I felt like I felt like even before they heard us, they was trying to like punk us. Like
Yeah.
we was just in there.
Because
And
we
I'm
was
like,
black in a white establishment. I
yeah,
mean,
we was black and white. I'm like, bitch. And I do remember me saying something like that. And that's when I was still drinking Hennessy and vodka on the same night. You know what I'm saying? And I probably had an ate a gummy. You know what I'm saying?
you definitely ate a gummy.
Yeah. And I was like, oh no, we're not gonna have this go down. You know what I'm saying? I just gave you like $100.
Yeah. Yep. And you was like, give me my tip back. Yeah.
That man had made me upset. And I just remember you being like, Eddie, listen to me. I need you to stop. And I was like, all right, I got you. And we had that.
Get him. You better get him. I'm like, I got this, please. But yeah.
And remember we had that hot dog outside.
Yes, the from the hot dog cart. Oh my God, yes. I need to go out. I haven't been out in a long time. Come to Dallas.
We'll see by the time we end this conversation. Okay, so you get casted. I'll let you know before you were supposed to know. Because I was gonna tell you.
Yeah.
But I told you, I was like, nigga, you're gonna have to come in here and you have to do your thing. Like all the things we talked about, I need you to do. And it wasn't so much like go on the show and show out. It was just like, no, like be present, be known, be funny, try to, stay out the shit,
I was gonna say that was your one advice. He was like, you could do whatever you want on this show, just do not fight anybody. Do not, like, if you feel it going there, go left. I'm not gonna fight these people. You've never seen me fight nobody. Like, fuck these people.
I never seen you almost fight that person after you locked my drunk self back in your little car and went back in IHOP. It was fun. I was like, Deandre, please, let's come on.
That was different. He was being so disrespectful. And my tolerance for disrespect, I forgot about that night.
I don't know where Deandre had took me out. We was somewhere. Deandre was always taking me out. Anyways, I was drunk and I was like, Deandre, please feed me before you drop me off back home. And so we went to the IHOP. Deandre fed me. We was at the table. I don't know what him and that man had going on. Like I said, I don't get in men business. I look the other way. I'm real serious about that. Deandre here, let him talk to him. I don't know what that man had did. Deandre politely basically scooted my ass to the car. It was like cussing the man out, closed the door and went back in and was cussing the man out. And like, I'm just in the car listening to Jasmine Sullivan in the rain, like, nigga, like, come on. So, yes, I had seen you get upset. So I was like, please, just go the opposite way. Like, don't get, I want you to be the example in the group, I wanted you to come in and be in charge of the girls. That's what I was telling you. I want you to, but I was giving you my way of how you become in charge of the girls. You lay low and then you rise up.
Yeah.
Child.
Yeah. Ooh. That first night because remember we did our scenes before. We did it with the group.
Which was so fun.
It was so fun. That's how I was like, oh, this is going to be a breeze, yada, yada, yada. And then I had met Kiki already. So I knew Kiki. I was like, oh, of course, she's not going to be a fake ass bitch. We're going to be friends.
And I told her because remember Kiki we went to Morehouse together, and I was like, Kiki, watch out for my friend, please. Like y'all too, please for me, look out for each other.
And so I knew it was so crazy because the person who I thought I wasn't gonna care for was the person who I like fell in love with the whole show. Mm-hmm. But I remember being on the little patio and I'm looking around and I remember I'm like, damn, I don't have on a microphone, but I remember Kiki holding her mic and was like, these bitches are on one, be careful. And I'm like, oh, I'm not studying nothing they doing, whatever, let's go into this thing. And as soon as I went into the room, I remember, and Darius was like kind of icing me out. Like he wasn't focused on me. He was trying to get the other girls into the camera, but he seen what I was saying the whole season. Snooze fest. And so him and Markel was talking. And Markel came up to me because remember, I didn't get to finish telling that story, but when we went out that night, Markel told me, he was like, this is going to be my first time, EPing. I need you to have my back. If I ask you to do something, you're not new to the reality world. You know how it works. So, if I give you, cues, go in, do it, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So when we start filming the scene, Markel comes up to me. He was like, listen, Deandre, these bitches are boring. And I just need you to do something to liven it up. So stop me when I'm lying. He's like, I need you to do something to liven it up. He was like, because we're not getting anything that we need. So fast forward to that scene when I say, production said you bitches was boring as fuck. I'm completely telling the truth. Like, this is what they told me. So anyways, So I'm like, I'm going in, and remember, I looked at you, and I was like, "Damn, Eddie, I can't even flirt with anybody in here. Nobody in here is cute."
You did say that.
Yeah, and you were like, just give it a second. You was like, lay low, let them do all the talking, and then you come in, yada yada yada. So we're going around the circle, and literally, I kid you not, were we not falling asleep in the corner? We were literally in that circle falling asleep. It was boring, boring, boring. And
Yes, it was boring, but it probably was just like first night jitters, but it was boring. I was like, oh, girl, these girls are boring. But, it's first night, first group scene,
Yeah.
But we were sleeping.
We were sleeping. And so the only person that I seen over there that was chilling out was Kesey. How you say his name? Kesey. So remember, I went over there, and everybody keeps swearing to God this did not happen. I went over there, and remember, I sat next to him first, and I was like, "Hey, you chilling out over here? What you got going on?" He was like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just feeling the vibes." And at that point, remember, I caught up on the seasons, and I had seen everybody's dynamic. And so, I'm a strategy. You know how we feel about strategy. So I'm like, I remember he was a friend of the show, and at this point, nobody knew who main cast was. Everybody was just kind of like going with the flow. So I told him, I was like, I liked you on, the season that you were with your friend, Carrie. I think he was Carrie's friend or something. And I was like, are you trying to be in the spotlight this time? Or, what are you trying to do? Because at this time, I'm trying to build a friend group because I didn't know none of them. So he's like, I would like to be, how he talked. Yeah, I'm trying to be in the front. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't want to do too much. So I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, well, when the cameras come on us, just roll with the punches. I got you. I was like, you don't got no boyfriend, nobody in here that nobody gonna try to fight me, right? He was like, nah, I'm chilling. So Markel, they start rolling the cameras again. So that's when I was sitting on his lap, and I'm like, what you got going on? So they're like, let's do the circle. Fast forward, then they literally Dior $2 ass come in there and start trying to shake it up. Oh, he's a fan. It took everything in me not to tell him, like, girl, they didn't even want you on this season. You only got on this season because they sent you the information by accident. But you know what I mean? So from there, it just kind of was like lines are drawn. And then naturally, people wanted to attach themselves to the people who had previously been on the show because I guess they thought it would have been easier to get that spotlight or you know what I mean? The whole season, everybody was fighting for who was going to be A cast and B cast. That's what it boiled down to. And I just never really gave a fuck where I was going to be. But the thing that got me in trouble was because I didn't know how to differentiate between what we were filming, like what we were doing for the show and what we were doing in real life. Because in real life, Trey Howard and I were the masterminds behind the whole season. So we we're going to pull these. And I admitted it on the show, we're going to get these two people to beef. We see some friction there, yada, yada, yada. Story producing, because anybody knows reality, yes, most of it is true, but in the beginning, you have to get those, get everything in motion. So we're getting it all going. And then as things are going on, I'm noticing Trey's name is, because Trey said this, Trey said that. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't trust none of y'all. So then when I start going into scenes, I was just kind of my guard is up. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, it's a no for me. And remember, I wanted to quit that night. Remember, after that, I was like, oh, this is boring. This is not what I thought it was going to be. What did you say to me? Keep going. See it through. It's going to be good.
Okay, so here we go.
I
have never given my opinion about your performance on Chasing Dallas. I've circumvented every question. Oh, yes, but tonight, can I give my opinion?
Yes. We got to talk about something else too, because it's something that you said on one of them after shows at the thing that had really pissed me off, and that was why I had distanced myself from you. That was really our falling out after Chasing. But we'll talk about that too.
Yo, we'll talk about it. Okay, so when I was there filming with you, and we get to the group scene, remember Robert had done that weird thing, and I feel
I didn't invite you.
I don't know how it shows on I don't know how it's being translated to the people. I don't know if people just like to see me get punked or whatever it is. But I'm I literally came in and I scooted to the side. I was literally chilling on the rail. I was out the way. I was literally out of the way. I wasn't trying to be seen. I wasn't walking around. This was DeAndre's thing. I'm just here because we had shot scenes. I'm visiting the show this episode. Actually, at this point,
you weren't supposed to be on the episode.
Maybe, maybe not. But Markel and I had spoke about me being in a reoccurring role for the entire season because I would be coming in into Dallas, like checking out what was going on. And I had family in Dallas that I was gonna like, like it was gonna be like a mini like Oliver and Dallas trying to, see what's going on. But even that night, anyways, even that night, I was just kind of chilling. So when Robert did that whole thing, I was like, wait, what's going on? Like, what's pop? What are you trying to do? Clearly, if Oliver is here at a Chase in Reality event, he just didn't walk off the street and just saw y'all with phones in y'all hands and said, "Let me join." Clearly, I'm here for a reason,
They're trying to treat you like Sydney Star.
Huh?
He was trying to treat you like Sydney Star, like you just popped up because you wanted to be in the mix when that wasn't the case at all.
No, Markel had requested that I be there. So, and I was supporting my friends, and Dario and Markel, are friends. So I'm supporting them in their, on their project. So that's where that comes from. But when I saw you begin to engage in the scene, immediately I was thinking, oh my God, Deandre is overproducing, and I don't want him to overproduce. Like, and this is not to read the Chase in Reality ground, right? But I'm just being very honest. Chase in Reality does not function like the more mainstream shows I've been on in terms of how it's produced, how it's ran, what the energy, the order, the human resources of it all, the email, it just, it's a complete different thing. I've enjoyed my time on Chase in Atlanta. I like it. But I know I'm not going to get the environment and the energy of working with a World of Wonder or wherever I've been on versus, being here with my friends over here. And so in the more formal way of doing reality TV, coming in with like a produced mindset works. Like on The Circle, like I honestly feel like that was kind of like my mini downfall. I didn't come in with like a real thought out strategy. I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna be me, and that's gonna be good enough. And it worked for what it did. But being on The Circle made me realize, oh no, bitch, you need to come on this shit with like a plan because it's gonna go so fast. And by your third scene, girl, they're gonna start telling you whatever. So no, you do need to go on this. And I just felt like you were overproducing in a space that naturally drama's gonna come out of this. It's a bunch of queer people of color. I hate to be stereotypical, but we gonna fight. That's what we do. We caddy in that regard. And I just felt like with you coming in already like having like, ooh, I'm gonna do this, or even talking to the other cast members, having that type of language, I just felt like you were already setting yourself up for failure in terms of your integrity being questioned, or people being like, oh, well, he fake stuff. Oh yeah, I know he do because he said this. It invalidates you before you even have the chance to argue anything. That's how I felt like very early on from the things that I was seeing.
But you said that. Remember afterwards, you told me that you were like, chill, let it just happen. Yada yada yada. Yeah.
I honestly feel like what made me what I was on Chasing Atlanta was because I never went after those people. They always, for the most part, came and bothered me, which then set it up perfect for me to respond, because it wasn't like I was saying this or responding out of just walking in the room and just wanting to fuck with somebody. Somebody then came and did something to me. And being in that space, being the person who reacts in reality TV is always better, unless you're like a New York where you're known for doing that. Being the person who reacts to it, it puts you in a better play strategy wise when it comes to reality TV, and always being like the conqueror in an argument. This is just a little bit of Oliver Twist's science to reality TV. And so I was just like, yeah, like just be you, Deandre. Like you already my friend. That's enough. They're gonna fuck with you. I know you know how to read. I know you know how to talk shit. The moment they come for you, go ahead and do what you gotta do. Be the leader, do group events, be about the business, that's what I said before I left. What happened after I left? As it relates to your experience with Chasing Dallas, what happened? Tell me.
What? I have no idea. Really, what a lot of people don't realize is that I only filmed with Chasing Dallas 4 times, if I'm not mistaken, right? It could have been a 5th time.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it was, but I know it wasn't more than 5 times, and they just so Trey Howard and I were supposed to host an event together.
Cowboys and something.
Yes. And so leading into the event,
It was like cowboys and bling, cowboy barbecue ribs and shoelaces. It was something.
I have no idea.
You
but
was basically gonna like simulate what our lounge was gonna be like.
yes. Well, no, not at this event. This event was just supposed to be because remember,
I'm sorry.
we all felt that nobody was being them true selves. And so we were kind of like, okay, if everybody can pick up that nobody's, because remember, everybody was just kind of like, and then once the camera stopped rolling, that's when the shit talking, like, oh, you don't write your rhymes, or you look like a garbage can, yada, yada, yada. And so we were just kind of like, okay, again, trying to get everybody to bring themselves out of their element and just, just relax, let's really get to know each other. Because for the most part, the whole cast was new, except for maybe like 3 people. Mm-hmm. So the day, like leading up to it, again, production stuff, we're like, hey, we're going to do this. And the thing I kept stressing, I was like, because when we met up and did a scene at Party City or something, they were trying to throw bait. And then we kept having to refilm it because they're like, oh, such and such said this about you. I'm like, I don't even know who that is. And I'm like, oh, well, we can't use that. So then they redid it like, oh, yada, yada, yada said this about you. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, okay, I get what you're trying to do. Y'all trying to make it messy. So, of course, to create some type of, you know what it's about. It's about trying to bring more people in next time on, yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, well, there's literally nobody's talking about anything. Nobody's doing anything. The person who I had the conversation with already, Kesey, I'm like, oh, well, he can't come to the party. We all know I literally met that boy for, how long did I talk to him? Maybe 5 minutes at most. So I'm like, he's going to understand, he's not invited to the party, but he's really, invited to the party. But that's going to be our opportunity to start, getting into the shenanigans of the shenanigans. So when we get there, we start setting up, and then like production is like, oh, they said he's coming and he's coming with friends and they want to fight and they want to do all of this. And I'm like,
that's what production told you.
Yeah. And I'm like,
who?
I don't remember the boy. It was, our production team was Markel. What's the one with the big booty? He used to be on Dallas.
Y'all, what's that baby name? I'm looking at him. Wooda.
Yeah, Wooda and somebody named Whitney.
Wooda with the Gouda.
Yeah, and so like we're like literally talking because at this point I'm cool with production, so I'm like because they know they see what I'm trying to do, so they're like basically like no shade, thank you for helping us trying to move it along. So they're like, oh, he's coming with his friends, yada yada yada. Somebody said that if you say something to them, it's gonna be on and popping. I'm like, okay, that's interesting because again, I don't know y'all niggas. So and let's talk about it. I was the one who paid for all that stuff at the party. So the fact that I didn't get to enjoy anything, I was very not happy. Somebody's like, oh, you set him up to fight him at a party. Why would I spend my hard-earned money putting a party together only for somebody else to ruin it? Like, none of it made sense. But anyways, Marzel and Tyree were.
And I was supposed to be at that party.
You were, but that's what I'm saying. But you, Marzel, and Tyree were there because those are my real friends. So
I was supposed to be there.
If you're going to tape something about me in my life and what I'm doing, I want you to see me in my element with my real friends versus these people I just met, So kind of like when you see a real friend, something about it just makes you feel comfortable.
And safe.
Yeah. So like my friends were there and then Dior was talking shit at the last event. So, I called Marzel and I'm like, oh, he has a new boo. But last thing I knew, y'all were just kicking it, as of last week. So now.
Wait, who?
Marzel, the lights, Marzel, the chef.
Your friend Marzel was kicking it with who?
Dior. Yes. And remember, that was the whole thing. And then Dior tried to flip it. We're going to get into that. So I'm like, hey, y'all come down. It's not that energy. Let's just come down, enjoy it or whatever. So when we get there, they're like saying all this stuff. So naturally, as things are happening, I'm like watching how everybody's moving. And me, I keep my head on a swivel. And so they're like, oh, here he comes. So production's running downstairs to like record people coming in. They're like, oh, here comes Kesey, yada, yada, yada. And so if you see the scene, I'm walking out of the building. We had no interaction. They told me to come back in and like say hi to him and Astro. So I'm like, oh, hey, hi. Oh, he's nobody. I'm like walking down, still playing. In my head, I'm like, we don't got no smoke, no issue. But I hear Dior in real life talking shit. So I'm like, oh, so because they wouldn't tell me any names. They just kept saying, oh, he's coming. He said if somebody say something. And me, I'm like, who y'all talking about? So they're like, oh, we ain't gonna say nothing. We just gonna let it happen. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And so as I'm walking out, I hear Dior talking shit. I don't remember right now what he said, but he said something. And I had came back and I had like asked him, like, what did you say? And he tried to flip it. You know me, because I want to address the issue. Like, we don't need to be sitting in front of each other if we don't really like each other, because then I know, like, stay on my side, you stay on your side. But when I went and approached Dior, he's like, that's not what I said. I said the opposite. I said, I'm just going to let you talk or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. It makes no sense. So when I go downstairs and I come back up, Kesey and Dior are still in this relationship. That I don't know. That whole thing was confusing. But they're over there like, you know, and I literally out the corner of my ear, I just keep hearing Kesey talking like, yeah, well, he better not say nothing to me. And he better not yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, oh, you weren't there. I wish you were there. Because I literally kept asking Trey. I'm like, who is he talking to? Like, I'm so confused who he's talking to. And, you know, Trey, like, he talking to you, but don't say nothing. Just sit still. And I'm like, well, I'm cool, but like, let me know if there's an issue. That's why I kept saying, like, so what's the problem? Because I'm really confused. And he's like, well, I don't know, yada, yada, yada. And then from there, I just kind of like snapped, because I'm like, I don't know what games y'all think that we're playing, but we're really not playing any games. Like, you know what I mean? I already from the scene before that, I couldn't tell what was for the show and what wasn't. You know, the girls like to play like, oh, I don't really got no beef with you for real. This is just for the show. But then they try to do some snake shit. And like, once the cameras is rolling, I couldn't operate like that, because I don't know you well enough to know when you're playing or when you're joking. You know what I mean? And so I feel like in that, looking back at it now, it was everybody trying to get me and Kesey to have an issue in regards to Dior, because I guess it made the most sense based off of, you know, the previous interaction when Dior was like, oh, he's a fan. But it didn't make any sense to me, because I didn't have any issues with Kesey. And you knew this because we talked about it after that. I liked Kesey. I feel like if anybody was gonna be on my like friend group, it was going to be Kesey and Kiki. So I'm like that, and you know what I mean? So that had just kind of like, it took me, yeah. And from there, I just didn't want to be a part of anything anymore. I was kind of like, I didn't like how they spun it, because they're like, oh, Deandre's a monster. He ran up on Kesey. He started all this shit. He said this, he said that. And I'm like, I literally was around you niggas. Prior to that day, I was around you niggas twice, because that other scene, it was just me and you. So I'm like, you don't know me for y'all to be saying like, oh, he did this and he did that. When you hoes were just texting me on Instagram in the little group trying to film scenes with me, and I'm declining the request. But now that I don't want to film with y'all, now y'all are like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's a problem. Let's paint him out to be the villain. I can handle the villain if it makes sense, but don't try to tell me that I'm story producing, I'm doing all of this, but yet you want me to story produce for you and you want me to follow along with your story. Just like until today, I never told anybody that Telly didn't have his real estate license. That's why we couldn't go in and not film anything, because me and Telly were supposed to go look at venues the day me and you went to go look at venues, except for Telly didn't have his stuff to go pull anything. So I'm just going with the punches. You know what I mean? So it ended up being more than what it was worth. And like I said, I have real stuff going on in life. Like, so not to say $30,000, they can say what they want, but $30,000 is a lot for me. And for that amount of money to be taken, especially from
what's the $30,000 they're talking
remember
about?
My dad had took when I withdrew my money, the check got sent to my dad, and my dad kept the money versus deposited it. So already I'm trying to figure out, I'm in a new place. I literally used so much money to get to Texas. Remember, I left all my stuff in Atlanta and I started everything from scratch when I got here. So I'm like, already I'm starting being in Texas in a negative, and then I'm adding this chaotic group of friends who are not really even my friends. You know what I mean? It just started to be too much. That's why I was like, I'm okay with not being a part of this group. And then every time I would sit out and not be around them, then that's when production, mostly Markel, will call me and be like, hey, I thought we were better than that. Remember, this is more than you. It's about me too. And remember, me and you even had the conversation. I'm like, I don't want to let anybody down. So I'm going to keep trying to come around. But I literally felt like every time I would come around, it would be like, okay, here's Deandre. Yo, don't attack him. Let him talk. Let him get it out. And then we sit down, and then it's like, but then when I react, they're like, well, you can't get mad, because if you get mad, then we can't spin that you're not the villain. I'm like, this shit is not real. I'm not, nobody in their right mind will sit amongst a group of, it was like 13 of them. And literally everybody, I can't say everybody, because Londi didn't do it. Kiki didn't do it. Robert didn't do it. I think that was it. Those are the only people who kept trying to speak up for me. But you see how they did them on the show. They made them to be the problems. Like then everybody started having issues with Kiki. They said she was flip-flopping. Then they said, oh, Robert was fake because Robert was going against Dior. But Robert was realizing like niggas is doing real fraudulent shit, and that's not how we should move. You know what I mean? Like it literally got real messy, and I just didn't want to be a part of it.
Ooh, Jesus. You know, I didn't watch the season. I only watched the scenes I was in.
I didn't watch nothing. I just seen what people would send me on social media, and then that's how I seen like the clips and stuff. Once I seen that teaser and how they set that teaser up, remember I called you and I was like, yeah, they got me fucked up. I won't be doing anything.
I remember hearing about the fight and I was like, what in the absolute fuck? I don't even think y'all were even in a month yet.
No.
Yeah, I don't think y'all had even been like filming for a month. And I'm sitting here like, oh my God, like what's going on? You know? And I can't remember what we talked about. I remember hearing about it first from Markel and Dario. And I didn't I was like, I think what I remember right now is let me see how long it's gonna take him to tell me what happened. Like I wonder how long it's gonna take him to tell me.
And I was avoiding you like the plague.
I was so upset. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? You know? I forgot to mention too, another thing I felt like that you did early on that played into your downfall on the show was I felt like, now this is my opinion, I felt like you picked a fight with Teddy Lee in the beginning.
Yes and no. The thing that pissed me off about Teddy,
and I was like, when you was like, I'm gonna start with this bitch, and I said, Deandre, don't. I told you, do not.
You did tell me that, but remember, we knew that the Teddy Lee thing was just stretched because like you cannot help but to argue with Teddy because we know Teddy is delusional, and so it was. And even Oliver, please be my witness. After we wrapped the scenes with me and Teddy, what did me and Teddy do after the scenes?
Which scenes? Oh, y'all will always come up and talk. Yeah, I did see that with my own two eyes.
Yeah, we would literally hug, and I would be like, you know, that is. I promise you, I have no issue with you. He like, oh yeah, girl, I know it ain't no issue. We friends. But then you turn around and get with another group of people, and then you like, yeah, because he fake it. He did this and he did that. Like, girl, like literally, duh. It's like,
oh my God.
So many times I wanted to just be like, are y'all fucking kidding me? Like y'all act like y'all don't know that 89% of this shit is fake, and then y'all are like pretending like I'm the only delusional person because I'm calling it out like it wasn't real. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, but now I was about to get ahead of myself. Go ahead.
But hold on to it because we're gonna get there. Okay, so
hang on one second. But with Ted Lee, Ted Lee was just an easy target because yes, I wanted the drama, and you know I will be the first to admit when I did something wrong. Ted Lee was supposed to be like a boom, they into it just to get like first season, like, oh bitch, you know what I mean? Like, not they into it already, but literally Ted Lee kept dragging that shit on every episode. And then people tried to make it seem like it was me that kept arguing with Ted Lee. Every time I sat down, Ted Lee was like, yeah, bitch, because you want to talk about hairline, you yada. And I'm like, girl, we talked about this 6 months ago. Why are we still on the same topic? But I'm like, I see what you're doing. You know what I mean? He was one of the people that I could not tell if we're being, are we doing this shit for the show or are we doing this shit in real life? Because then he even said, because I ain't gonna fight you, I'm gonna get my gun. And then it's like,
not the gun.
Yeah, but then when I brought it up, I'm like, you literally said something about a gun. No, I didn't. And then everybody was sitting there and was like, yes, you did. You literally, they would pick fights and then be like, well, Deandre, he started it because he wanted to story produce. Like, bitch, so did you. Right. You weren't good enough to do what I was doing, and that was it. They were mad because I was able to make it flow and make it make sense, and they just wanted to be sporadic. They didn't know, you know what I mean? Like they didn't understand how to make it work for them. So with them, it didn't look very like fluid. It looked like, okay, we're just jumping and skipping, which is why a lot of them scenes got deleted and a lot of them requests got denied. Because if you don't know what you're doing, I'm not about to go film a scene with you. And then you remember that scene with me, you and Trey Howard, and we're just literally looking at each other like, you remember that? We were literally like standing around looking at each other like, girl, why am I going to keep wasting my time when y'all know I'm trying to handle business? I'm not going to keep trying to film with y'all and y'all don't even have nothing to talk about. That's what they didn't like. And then, you know, I'm very vocal. So they took that and was like, oh, he's messy. He likes to start. No, I'm not going to start anything on a popular opinion. Only thing that I will say I started was Tedley. But Tedley, you know that was true what I said about Tedley. Tedley did try to curve me in the club, and it really wasn't a big deal.
But you know what? I always told you from the jump, I didn't think he meant it. Like I don't think he did. Like it didn't give me he was being funny.
Tedley knew who I was, and Tedley knew that I was going to be on the show already. Because remember that night, Markel told me, he was like, "It's a couple of your cast members already here." And I said, "Who is it?" And then we were already in the circle. I forget who else was there that night. Tedley knew I was going to be on the show, but it really, on a scale of 1 to 10, what Tedley did was like a fucking 2. It was kind of like one of them, like, "Oh, bitch, no, you didn't," type of things. But it was like, okay, bitch, I see the moment. You're in here with all this fucking sequin, looking light as fuck. Like, let me just attack you. You know what I mean? And then it was like, yes, I knew we were going to banter. You know that I'm very strategic. Like, I knew Tedley was going to give me the banter that we needed to go back and forth, and then boom, there's a makeup scene, and now we both moving on. We on so that's how it was supposed to play out. But he did not know when to turn the button off, and so naturally, if you have somebody like me that's like, okay, he's getting to a lot of people, you can cut it and make it seem like, okay, he's picking on Tedley, and then he's picking on Tedley, and he's picking on Tedley, and he's picking on, it just got old. Like, girl, hug me so we can be done with the shit. Hug me, the camera's going, so we can be done with it.
I wish, and I would love to hear if you agree or not. I wish you wouldn't have walked in with this idea to like produce or plan or think about like how things are going to show up. Like I feel like I was really excited for people to see like the person I had got to know, who was like, I thought was like everything was just like this amazing, like really cool, amazing guy. And I felt like you walked into Chasing Dallas like thinking, this is how I want to show up, but this is what I think should happen, instead of like just allowing the show to happen naturally, as well as like just showing up as your authentic self to these other people, versus like trying to say, oh, well, let's do this because it's boring. Like even if it is boring, because I've been in scenes, on Chasing Atlanta where it's boring, and I'm like, okay, I got to do something, but not necessarily like, ooh, let me make up something. I may be like, child, girl, I had a real bad case of diarrhea this morning, child. Girl, what happened? Girl, I ate a real bad chalupa. And, just something, just to keep it going. But me personally, I felt like you overproducing when you didn't necessarily have to is what kind of aided into this whole thing. Now, I don't want to, and I'm not invalidating you saying those people were not doing those things, because I don't know, I wasn't there, and I can't say that from what my vantage point is. What say you? What you think?
No, I agree. But again, and a lot of it, again, I'm not putting it on anybody, because I chose to do what I chose to do, and I said that from day one, even on the reunion. But a majority of it was, again, when you have people, hey, we have to make this. It's a comeback. We need to make sure we're doing this. We need to make sure it's doing that. So it wasn't like, oh, first thing in the morning, let me stir up some mess between yada, yada, yada. It was like, hey, we have the scene coming up. We need such and such to do this. And you smiling because you know that I'm telling the truth, and you just don't want to come off and admit that how it works. But that's just what it was.
No, it's not that. No, I mean, I don't necessarily know what it was given on Dallas. Markel and I wasn't talking, and not saying we wasn't talking. Him and I spoke, but we wasn't talking about like the progression of his show, because I wasn't necessarily interested. So I don't know. I just always feel like in an unstructured reality TV show like Chasing Atlanta, for me, the people who do well are the people who just are themselves. Because it's not like, I mean, yes, there's some story building that goes into our show. Like, this is what we want to see from this person individually. This is what they're going to talk about. But a lot of this stuff on Chasing Atlanta that I honestly think that makes Chasing Atlanta so great is that for the most part, this is just shit that's just really in real life happening. And the cameras are honestly capturing it. I think in the unstructured space, because we don't necessarily have the experience that we may have when you're working on a Netflix show, where these producers know about structuring, because bitch, we got to turn the show in 2 weeks, because it got to go to the editing room and we got to move on to the next show. So yes, you must go into this way. Y'all, I tell y'all all the time, when I did that show on WeTV, my mind was blown about how reality TV is made. Like, blown. My mind was blown. It made me so emotional.
Well, when I say that, people are always looking at me like, oh, you don't want to admit that you're in the wrong. I'm like, if y'all literally could see the shit that is real, and again, I don't want to drag them because I know they have another season rolling out right now. But yeah, again, like I said, I'm easily to say I did.
What do you take accountability for?
I take accountability for, again, just to like going in, trying to get it to be something, trying to, what do they call it? Be the puppet master versus just letting people be themselves. But then when I feel like that led to people trying to rebel against it or trying to do the same thing, and then it like backfiring, like, okay, so he's already labeled himself as this, so now it's easy for us to play off. Or then they see like, okay, well, we know if we mention yada yada yada, this is gonna trigger him. So I'm gonna say some smart shit before they start seeing, before the scene starts going, and then we walk into the scene, and then everybody's like, oh, he came in mad, not knowing that parts of the scene, you know what I mean? Like stuff already led up to tension building. Because a lot of the times, I would go into the scenes that I did film. I would literally go in there, just be chilling. You know how I am. I'm really quiet in real life, and I think people don't understand.
You are quiet.
Yeah, I'm really quiet. So like, I literally used to walk into the scenes like, singing the K Michelle song in my head, and then they're like, oh, there he go over there. Oh, his fat ass. He know that he over there. You know what I mean? It used to be like shit like, you think he hot stuff. Yeah. And then, when you hear people, you're just like, girl, get the fuck away from me.
You're so funny.
Like, oh, and here's a camera in your face. What's his reaction going to be? So it was just shit like that. But it's comical now, like looking back on the process of Dallas. It was very comical for me because I'm like, I really let a lot of shit get to me when we know, like, you and I both know the real me. And I feel like if I would have just like went in with the game plan like I wanted to, just to pop in and be a friend of the show, it would have been a lot easier to like move and navigate, because then my pop-ins and pop-outs would have been justified versus like, oh, he not here because he started a bunch of shit and he's scared that we're gonna say something. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I take accountability for stirring it. And Kesey, right? I don't want to butcher his name.
You're confusing me now.
Because
yes, I think it's Kesey. Final answer.
I really, really like him, and I think a lot of people felt like when we were talking on the reunion, it was fake. Like literally after when you popped back in, remember I was done filming, and then when you came back and you were like, no, you have to come back and film, and I was like, I don't know, I'll think about it. But that night, a lot of people don't know, me and Kesey were outside talking and literally had heart to heart, and like we were hugging each other, embracing each other, really talking about like where all the bulk of the drama came from. And this wasn't even, hadn't even been filming for 2 months. People don't realize the fight literally happened like week 2 of us filming. So it was like we had no beef, but people just kept trying to stir it into more than what it was. Like the drama with me was really dead and gone. And then people like Sean came in and tried to like insert themselves to try to make it like bigger than what it was. You know what I mean? So
I want to talk about when I had to come back, which is a story in itself. I'm enjoying this honesty with you and talking about this. I will tell you, I didn't watch the season, so a lot of things I'm hearing from you, I've heard through like from Darius and Dario Markel. My mom watches it, so like I hear from them, but like I never watched it for myself. So I'm appreciating you going into detail, like really getting me into it. And I am watching the live chat. Thank you guys so much for watching. We got 300 people in here watching you. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how Oliver got involved again with Chasing Dallas, because I was supposed to be done. And I'll tell y'all the phone call that I got and what was explained to me, which authored how I approached my scenes coming into my return to Dallas. We got Deandre here in the mix with Twixt. So are you. Don't go anywhere. We will be back after this.
Did you really think that was it? Baby, get ready for yet another big night in web reality. Not only do we chase the beat, we set the tone, honey, for one more show-stopping night. Presented by me, Oliver Twixt, the second installment of Chasing the Bee, a celebration of queer art and creativity is here. Join us as some of the stars from Chasing Atlanta take one final bow, plus special appearances from some of our faves from Dallas and even Los Angeles. Be sure to watch it live on the Chasing Reality YouTube channel, coming soon.
I get the bag, you get the bag, we get the bag. All my hitters in the club gon' get the bag. Ryan get the bag, Ryan get the bag, hit it. Ryan get the bag, Ryan get the bag, hit it.
Pack your bags because you are invited to the Twixt takeover in the Dominican Republic, hosted by your favorite nerd, Oliver Twixt, from October 10th to the 14th, 2024. It's a 5-day all-inclusive stay at one of the finest 5-star resorts in Punta Cana, Hotel Rio Republica All-Inclusive Resort. Treat yourself to a luxury stay with beach access, fine dining, unlimited food and drinks, on-site attractions, spa amenities, and daily activities hosted by myself and my other co-hosts. This also includes a free masterclass on business, content creation, and social media marketing. And yes, everything is included. All you have to do is book your flight and show up. Now it's only a $100 deposit to lock in the early bird rate before the price goes up. Go to www.twixtrip.com right now to book your package to lock in the early bird rate. See you there.
Hey, my friends, we're back to In the Mix with Twixt. We got my boy Deandre here. Listen, guys, I want you guys to come with me on vacation this year to Punta Cana. Yes, we're going October the 10th through the 14th. You can go to www.twixtrip.com right now to book your stay. You can put down a $100 deposit and pay in increments until the due date, which I believe is July. June, so we still got a couple of months to get it in. Listen, it's a very affordable trip and it's going to be so much fun. It's all inclusive. I'll be there teaching some workshops on some content creation, amongst other things. I was gonna say spa amenities. Not spa amenities, but what they call the little thing, excursions. Excursions, we're gonna have a blast. We honestly had an amazing time last year. If you haven't seen In the Mix with Twixt, please go rewatch season 1 of In the Mix with Twixt. We had an amazing time, and I can't wait to party with you guys. Deandre popped in, but he popped. Oh, there you go, and he's back.
Yes.
Deandre is back. We're talking all things Deandre, and we're on the part where I get called to come back to Chasing Dallas. Right. I got a phone call. Of course, I had already knew about your thing, right? But, and I hope I'm not putting Markel on the spot. I don't think I am. And if I thought I was, I wouldn't be saying it. But I think he wouldn't mind me sharing this. Markel basically called me and basically said, like, the way the group as a whole was moving, it just was not meeting an expectation, right?
Right.
And of course we're judging it off other shows, other cast members, other configurations, and he just felt like as a whole the group was so focused on fighting with each other that they were not actually showcasing as a whole a chase. Like everything was just about being catty and drama. And he was like, Oliver, I really want you to come back and kind of talk to them and kind of like, kind of do that thing you did on season 5 of Chasing Atlanta in the cabins. He's like, I really think the cast that'll really help them because they need somebody to come in and kind of like help them move past this point because they're not moving past this point. So I was like, okay, yeah, for me, what season is this 4 of Dallas? You were on season 4, right? It's season 4. Reese did 3 and then it's 4. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure. But I casted everybody that was on this season. So I had talked to them. Some of them I had hung out with, like Teddy Lee and others. So like to me, all of them are older than me, but they like my babies kind of, because like I saw y'all audition tapes. I was there asking y'all questions, and I was asking questions like, I was hitting them with it, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been a cast member who's been on this platform, and I be wanting people to know, like, bitch, are you gonna come in and do what you gotta do to get all the things you can from this? Right. So like, I'm thinking like, oh my God, my friends, they need me. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Markel is calling me. He's asking me, can I come back? And then we got the whole Deandre of it all, which I'm like, this motherfucker then went and fought. And now he don't want to do the show. He don't want to do the show. He want to do the show. He is doing it. Now he quit again. Okay, Oliver, what can you do to help get your friend back into a good place to move him forward? Because, bitch, at the end of the day, I'm thinking we got to promote this lounge. Right. We need people to come to the lounge. Remember, I kept going back to the lounge. I'm like, because The people not gonna want to come eat our chicken if they don't like you. We need people to like you. You know? That was my strategy. You know what I'm saying? And so I flew back, and the day we went to shoot the group scene, I was like, I think it'd be funny if I send like this telegram of like this distorted voice to kind of like build some suspense. You know, I'm thinking this shit is funny. Child, we rolled up to that scene with them people. Markel was like, when I walked into the scene, everybody was just like, hey ho. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute. What's going on? The people did not like my video at all. They was like, bitch, because we was da-da-da-da. And I spent like 10 minutes apologizing, like, oh my God, y'all. I was really joking. Like, I really thought it was going to be taken as a joke. Like, when has anybody ever gotten a telegram with a voice distorted saying that? Like, bitch, clearly this is a fucking joke. Like, this is not, it's some, what? But anyways, we had the whole healing moment. It was chaotic. It was drama. But at the end, it seemed like we got somewhere. Like, it seemed like the group had reset. Everybody. Now, after we finished the scene, people came up to me and said they loved it. You know, now what they said on the show and then they green screen was one thing, but everybody came up to me and said how much they really enjoyed it and how much they really appreciate it. Markel really liked it. Like, everybody in the room really liked it because the mission was accomplished. Everybody had kind of forgiven each other, had got it out, and y'all was talking. Y'all was taking pictures. Y'all was slapping fives. I leave. What happened?
Well, I just did a comment that made me laugh. We know that after that I was done. I quit the show. I was like, yeah, no, it's over with. And then you and Markel kept calling like, you know, we need you. You know, you got to come back. You got to do this. Yada yada yada. So
I didn't know you had quit.
Yeah, remember I was like, I'm not coming back. I was done with it.
I didn't know you had quit at that point.
Yeah, that was the first time I quit. And I was just kind of
I didn't know that. I thought after the whole therapy thing I had did that you was like back in it.
No, I was. Oh yeah, remember I had quit prior to, and then that's when you came, and then you were like, well, we need to get you back in. Whatever we got to do.
I just really wanted you to leave. If you was gonna leave, I just didn't want you to leave like
just be done.
Just be done. Like he done fought and now he out. At least let's have this moment where people can hear you out, and hopefully we can get to some resolve. So even if you don't come back after this,
right,
at least we got a resolve. At least it ended on a nice note.
Right. And so, but again, you knew my mindset was like, I was over it. It was just, it just wasn't anything. So then when you came in, you were like, you know, hear them out because it's probably more to the story than what you think. Because remember at that time, I was like, you know, they're moving weird and I'm not really necessarily seeing how they're picturing me. I'm just thinking of my feelings of how I'm feeling at that moment. So I'm like, I really don't want to go. But when you came, you were like, you know, for me, at least try, hear what they're saying. So when I walked in, I remember I walked in before you. And when I walked through the door, they're like, bitch, did you send that message? Because it's whatever. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, you remember? And I'm like, y'all are tripping for no reason. Everybody was sitting in there like this, like, oh, like, calm down. It was too much.
That's what I figured.
And so
that was funny.
So when you came in, it was because remember when everybody was talking, I kept looking at you because I'm like, I really want to get the fuck up and walk out of here.
And I'm like, oh, Deandre, just hold it. Just
yes. Because again, and even in the comments, it was funny because I keep seeing like, oh, he's not taking accountability when they don't really know what was said. We literally filmed for how long? And everybody
for a while
going in a circle, like, well, he never said I'm sorry. And everybody's like, he just said I'm sorry 10 times, and y'all are not listening to what he's saying. Like, I feel like everybody came there to put their 2 cents in, like, oh, this is my moment to make a cast, because that's honestly what it boiled down to. Everybody wanted to be heard and seen. So they were like, oh, this is my opportunity to say something. Yeah, girl, because one time you said my left eyelash was crooked. Yeah, the other day you said my shoe was on backwards. So it was kind of petty to me when I seen people like Robert, and it was somebody else there that was like opening up and like really expressing themselves. I'm like, okay, I kind of feel like I can kind of explain why I'm on edge to kind of give my reason and also be heard, you know? So from that moment, I was looking at it like, you know what? You did fuck up. So now is your opportunity for you to tell them, like, you know, you fucked up. But not only, I was focused on the group, but I was mainly focused on Kesey, because Kesey and I hadn't talked to that point. And so it was kind of like, I'm looking at somebody across from me who's really hurt. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say like he's hurt. Like
he was really shaky. He was really emotional about it.
Yeah, he was. And
I can feel him. I was like, "Ooh, baby."
And I'm man enough to admit, like, again, he was somebody on the cast that I wanted to befriend. So I'm like, it's not okay for one. Yes, the cameras are rolling. We did all the shebang and whatever. But as a man and me in real life, that's not how I am. I'm not
right.
Like just be mean to somebody for no reason. So and I kept telling him, I apologize. So that was once we established we were cool, we squashed the beef. And decided to hang out outside of the chasing reality realm. I was okay with that.
I can't do it.
The rest of the group, I knew that it just was gonna be, you know what I mean? It just was what it was. I didn't expect anything, but I was actually happy because that was the first time in a group setting where people actually like spoke up for me and was like, y'all keep doing this.
They did.
So that felt good. But after that, like I said, I remember I was still done. I still didn't want to do no more of the show. And then you came and you pinched me and you twisted my arm and you was like, you know what? Now's your opportunity. Go to Astro's show. Just let it all go. Smile and let it be what it's gonna be. And what I did,
yes,
I smiled. I went to Astro's show. I didn't say nothing. And I literally walked in and it's like back with the shenanigans. So after that, I was just like, yeah, I'm good on it. It was like I wanted to show, that I went on there to really, really show like what I was working on because I had like my whole business plan. I had my spaces identified. I was already.
What you were working so hard on.
I really was, and people.
You were working so hard on it.
Yeah, but it's like every time it came to be my moment to really even like show, like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Or, I would be all in, like, okay, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna show them what I'm working on so they don't think it's only mess. It's like every opportunity got overran by some BS. So then I just kind of feel like, why do I keep coming back to this if y'all are not gonna let me show you what I'm chasing, but yet you want to say, oh, your lounge ain't never gonna open. He ain't doing nothing with his lounge. How do you know? You're not giving me an opportunity to do anything.
Y'all, when I tell you Deandre was working so hard on that lounge, like I would get phone calls, FaceTimes, like as he was walking through every step. I was so proud of him during this time. Like he was really like going for it. He was meeting with Dennis. He was talking to Dennis. He was talking to the regional manager. He's like, Eddie, look, I got the pamphlet, I got the menu, I got the price breakdown. We was really talking to the landlord. We was really okay. We would have to gut this
LLC. Like
he was really doing okay. I think I can do this to get this. Like he was really, really working on it. And so for me, as someone who's seeing the potential, like the actual tangible potential in this, like this ain't no Ponzi scheme. Like I'm seeing everything he doing, and you saying, if we open this bitch up, this is what we gonna get. Hell yeah, let's fucking do it. Like bitch, we trying to sit the fuck down around this thing. We ain't trying to just be around here just playing all day. And so
remember though, at that time, more stuff because the Dallas is really small, and I don't think people really realize how small it is. But when word has started getting out that because at this point they had dropped it wasn't the full teaser, it wasn't the trailer, it was just a teaser. And remember the teaser they had me find. They literally, and I asked them, remember I was about to do Squid Games, and I'm like, y'all, whatever y'all do, please do not drop this until I'm gone. Let me be gone filming Squid Games, and then y'all can drop it once I come back. No, they dropped it in I think I was leaving in February, and they dropped it at the end of December. And so I'm literally getting calls, even from people at crew, and they're like, yo, no, you have to clean this up. Like, this is not a good look. What are you going to do to clean it up? So that's the reason why I kept coming back to try to step back in and because that I was trying to polish it up. Like, you look, I fucked up. I know y'all are going to air it. You have to air it because that was the highlight of the season. And I'm not even trying to be shady, but I knew it was going to come out. So I'm like, let me just try to work and, make up for it. But every step of the way, they were fighting me. And it was just that's not, and I'm not saying production was fighting me. I'm saying the cast members was like, oh, here he comes. Because they knew, and I'm not trying to be funny. They knew once I stepped into the room or stepped into a scene, I was not going to be scared to go back and forth with them. It was other people who were going to just let them have it or do their 1-2 and walk away. They know you're not going to punk me. That was my biggest thing. Feel about me how you feel. You can think I'm big, ugly. You can say whatever you want to say, but you're not going to do it and think I'm just going to take it. You know what I mean? And they knew, they seen me. They were like, here he comes. Watch this. I'm finna get him. You know what I mean? And then every time it was just like I was just taking a bait until crew, and then after crew, I was just like, y'all came into this place that I'm literally to be because that you and I'm jumping all over the place, but you do know that that night in Houston when we all went to Houston, I literally was on the phone handling everything for us to be able to film. You know, you can't film in there. And I wish Markel or and Dario was on the thing to admit it. When we went in there to get everything ready, they told them they had to get out. They were like, "You cannot come in here. You can't come in here with the cameras or nothing." I literally had to go up to the guy. The manager was in there, and he was like, "No, that's just our rule." I literally had to go out, call Dennis to get the owner's number, and then ask the owner. I said, "Hey, I'm trying to document this. It's a show that I'm doing of me opening up my crew. Can I film?" They were like, "No, you can't film." Yada yada yada. I said, well, "What if we just go to the back patio?" They was like, "Go to the far back where nobody's going to be in your shot, and you can film." And that's how we were able to film in there. So I was literally like working to try to show what I'm doing, even when I'm talking. Like, "Hey guys, this is what I want to do. I've been to a crew before, and yeah. Like, shut the fuck up and let me have my moment." Damn, It was crazy. It was too much.
They did call me when you did that thing at crew, and babe, when I tell you I keyed so hard, I laughed because I said, "I know this nigga ain't saying." This nigga said, that's when I knew you was over it. I was like, if DeAndre went out to a crew, to a public place, and was like, "Y'all take care of the bill, I'm out," I was like, "Oh, he over it. Like, he is officially over it." And you didn't film no more after that, did you?
No, that was my last when I walked out of there because Markel came and was trying to get me to stop, and I was like, "No, I'm not," because y'all are in something that I set up and my name is on this. And you know what I mean? And at that point, I had my partnership agreement, everything with crew. So you're not about to fuck up something that I have going on that costs real money. You know what I mean? It wasn't $250 to get in here and do this paperwork. It just was too much. And at that moment, I realized, like, no matter how you try to spin this, no matter what you do or what you say, it's always going to be drama and chaos amongst a group. And I just walked out. But a misconception that they had is that they kept trying to say I left them with the whole bill, which was the hilarious part of the funniest part of it is because when we were in there, I had the conversation. And again, I didn't watch the season, so I don't know what all they showed, what they didn't show. But I was asking, and Dario and Markel, I'm like, "Hey, this is my event." And now they're switching it because I talked to the owner to get the area in the back. But they're like, "Now that you're back here, you have to pay for, I think, a bottle and hookah, yada, 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 or something it was doing." And I was like, "Well, I don't mind paying for the rest of the stuff," but I wasn't drinking. Remember, I didn't want to be around that group. So I had literally flew into Houston and I flew right back out of Houston the next day. So I had already been drinking. I was going to do something else. And so I told them, I said, "Hey, why are you laughing?"
You always got something else to do.
I do. You know me. And I really, especially if I'm not feeling the energy, I'm not going to sit here and be fake with y'all. It just wasn't it. You want my scene, I'm going to give you my scene, and then I'm getting the fuck up out of here. So, and I didn't stay with them or nothing. Like, no, I hit it. So when I was there, I was like, "Hey, as a group, let's talk about this. What do y'all want to do? Do y'all plan on drinking? If y'all plan on drinking, they're saying that y'all have to buy a bottle. I don't mind going half on a bottle with y'all, but I'm not going to pay for y'all for a bottle if y'all decide to get a bottle because I'm not drinking the bottle." And they were like, "Oh, it's no problem. Don't worry about it. We appreciate you handling everything else." So then when I paid for the rest of the tab, I forget how much it was, but it was a couple $100. And then they're like, "Oh, because he left me with he left with the tab." Yeah, because you keep coming back into the section I put you out of. Security literally took, what's his name, Kishan, out of the section, and then you keep coming back. It's like, "Well, you ain't stopping shit. You ain't stopping shit." You know how we work. You already know how we work. You think you're gonna run my section? If you're gonna run the section, pay for it. And I feel about that.
Baby, and that's how Markel related back to me. Markel was like, he was trying and da-da-da-da-da. And then you said, "All right, well, that y'all got it."
Yeah.
Bitch, I hollered. That was so funny to me. And I didn't want to, Markel was updating me on like how you were doing. I didn't want to be calling you about the show because I'm like that's his thing. Like, I'm not his parent, like I've done what I can do, but I've been asked to do. Like, I'm gonna let him work out his thing, because he got it. He don't need me to stand over his shoulder. And I'm pretty sure like there's more to the story. And bitch, I'm not there. It ain't none of my business. And I don't want to infringe on his shit, my focus is on the fucking lounge. Okay, so you film the scene, you don't come back. Let's talk about what happened to the lounge. What happened to the lounge? What's going on with the lounge? Update me with the lounge. I don't even know what's going on with the lounge.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you said even you don't know what's going on with the lounge. So remember, I decided after all of that was going on, I was like, a crew, and this is not to talk bad about crew. I love Dennis. I thank Dennis for the opportunity. It just was not in my cards to do a franchise. And I had already been battling about what I want to do as far as like it being me, this, if I wanted to go franchise route or do my own thing. And so opportunity presented itself to do it in Ohio. So I just jumped on that. And right now I'm teaching. We didn't get into what I'm doing right now, I don't think. But so when I started teaching, I just kind of put my focus onto getting my teaching certification and just kind of like set it to the side, which was a reason you'll see it on this season of Chasing Dallas. Reason why I decided not to come back, because I don't think that I have did I spill those beans?
Oh, you filmed for this season. Oh shit! Come on! What you filmed for Chasing Dallas this season?
The girls can say what they want. They can say I was messy, I did this, I did that, but they know that I was in everybody's storyline. Everybody had to have beef with me in order for them to be productive, like Little Astro.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like it just was funny to me. So they just asked me to come back, and they did a scene where they were asking me to come back, and I just turned it down because again, I wasn't happy then, and I'm in a genuinely happy place now, and I just don't want the negativity. Sean and I met each other in the back streets of New Orleans.
You told me.
Baby.
You told me.
Yeah. And that was like, for me, that was a growth moment because I was literally with like a group of people. And so I'm like, you hollered that I was setting up people to get jumped. And this is the perfect opportunity, you know what I mean, for me to give you your dream. And then it was just kind of like, for what? You know what I mean? I'm going to give you this satisfaction for what? So instead, I just went up to him and I was like, can I give you a hug? And he was like, I don't want to fight. I said, I swear I'm not trying to fight you. Yeah. I was like, I just want to give you a hug, like to let you know, like, I know what you were doing on the show and I know why you were doing it. I didn't like fighting about it. But again, you wanted to make a name for yourself and now you have a name for yourself. So it was no bad blood. I don't have no bad blood with any of them. I honestly do wish them all the best. Every single person. I see Trey from time to time. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, I just decided not to come back.
Okay, so we will be seeing you on this upcoming season of Chasing Dallas. Wow, first time here. y'all be coming in the mix and just be with the shits. Okay, so the lounge is open in Ohio.
No, it's not.
You never open a lounge.
It's no.
Yeah, because I just stopped getting phone calls about it, and I was excited about the lounge. I was ready to brag.
Honestly, the reason why I had to stop it, and this is no shade to you, but I had a team of people that was helping me. So I wasn't one that was like, well, I'm doing this with my own finances. I never said that from the beginning. I made it clear that I had partners. And I just felt like where everybody was in their life, like it just wasn't the time. You know what I mean? And a restaurant and lounge doesn't have a high, I want us to get in and then they're already only expecting us to be open for 3 years. And then we fuck around for the first year and now we only have 2 years to try to pull something out of the ground. It just wasn't time. And I'm not going to rush anything to pull.
You're so smart. Yeah.
But yeah, we still have our LLC though. And we still got our bank account.
I know that's right. Okay, so let's talk about the show comes out.
And I honestly would like a thank you to a lot of those girls on the show because a lot of them were talking about businesses and none of them knew how to structure a business. None of them had LLCs. Nobody did anything that was operating. I can't say nobody. Majority of them did not know how to operate a business until I came into the realm. And then when I was in the realm, I was reading them hosts for Phil and I was telling them like, oh, you're trying to operate a business, but you don't even have a business plan. You're trying to operate, but you don't have an LLC, which made them go back and do their business plans, made them go back and get LLCs. So, you know what I mean? So they should be thanking me. I feel like I should need it.
Oh my God. You're so funny. Okay, so let's move on to the show coming out and you basically are like stopping from filming, right? And they're calling me, they're like, Oliver, where's DeAndre? Where's DeAndre? Where's DeAndre? What is DeAndre doing? What's going on?
And
I
I
have,
wouldn't either. I hated they kept calling you like they were calling you like you were my like.
and I hated it because I'm like, listen, I don't want to be involved in what's going on. You know, like this is his thing. Like, don't. I feel like it just puts me in a weird place of like, okay, I don't want, like, I understand his involvement and him not being involved in what that does to production. Like, I totally understand. I get it. I relate with y'all. I hear y'all. I keep looking at Cookie. She keep looking at me. That's why I keep looking down. I'm just making sure she all right. But like, I understand y'all really want him involved. I don't know what his reasons are because you and I aren't really talking about it. Like, it's just something I was like, I don't want that to be a part of our conversation because I just don't want to be a part of it. And I don't want to be coming to you about the show and what they're telling me because I don't know what you're going through. And I don't even want to place our friendship in a place to where I have to ask you what you are going through on the show. I want it to be separate from us at this point. But then, you know, it just put me in a weird place. And so I felt like you and I weren't even talking a lot at that time. Like we had kind of like slowed down from talking. I'm not sure why.
It was, I feel like both of us, because we did have that conversation. Remember, you called me, you were like, I'm not trying to be in your business, obviously, because you made the reference. You said, I know anytime you go ghost is because you're working on something or you're going through something. And you were like, I'm not trying to be in your business because if you wanted me to know, you would tell me. And you were like, but I just want to know, what do you want me to tell them? Because they keep asking me. And remember, I was like, fuck them hoes. Tell them I said that. Like, yeah. And so you're like, well, I'm not going to tell them that. But yeah, I feel like you kept getting in. They kept trying to pull you into something I felt like didn't have anything to do with you. And then I felt like it was selfish of me, and I can say that I feel like a lot of the times when you came to do group scenes, I feel like, yes, you would have my back and be like, yeah, you know, I know the real him. He's not this, he's not that. But I feel like as my friend too, I wanted you to advocate a little bit more production wise, because I feel like I was complaining to you about how production was editing and what we were seeing. And I was like, you know, this is, you know what what's going on. Can you have them? Remember, I was asking you to have them take the Instagram post down or untag me in a lot of the stuff so it wouldn't interfere with what I had going on. And I just felt like I was getting, remember, he's like, I can't control them. I can't control what they're doing. So I just kind of like, you're attached to it. Let me break away, you know? So
yeah, you know, that makes complete sense. You know, as much as because my immediate response was gonna be like, oh, well, you know, I just ain't want to be in the middle. So I don't want to feel like I'm stepping in, being a liaison between, you know, you and production and Markellen and Dario when you're saying the thing, they're saying the thing. I'm not working together with y'all on this project. So I'm like, can y'all talk to each other or one not talking to each other? Fuck it. You know, like do what you got to do, but I don't know. And I don't want to tell nobody what to do.
Yeah.
But I can also understand how basically I brought you into this situation, you know, and was really a part of the force trying to get you to be there and stay there. I can understand where me not advocating you in that regard could have resulted in how you know, backed away. I totally get it.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But like I said, looking back, it wasn't fair because again, you really didn't have any control over production. It was just in my head. I'm just like going through, you know, and not to say going through something is an excuse for anything, but I just was like, this is too much. And if the person who I once knew is attached to that, I don't want to be a part of it. But I should have called you and really been like, hey, yada, 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 this is what I'm feeling. And we could have talked about it. Because once we talk, our problem is that we're both like stubborn. So we'll just like, oh, if you're not saying nothing to me, I'm not going to say nothing to you. Versus just like opening up and being like, this is where I'm coming from. You know what I mean?
Yes,
yeah.
I would agree. That is exactly how we are. I don't know why we're that way. I don't know why. Why do you think that's the case? Because like, we'll just stop talking and be like, well, girl, you know, whoever talks whoever first, it'll happen, you know.
I think because one, we don't want to hurt each other's feelings first off, and then two, we don't like getting our feelings hurt by the other person. Because so when you develop certain relationships,
you're so smart. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's just we really do value each other in another light. Like when people ask me all the time, like, oh, where's your friend Oliver? I'm like, I don't know. But deep down, I'm like, damn, where is Oliver? I do, you know what I mean? So it's just pride. We both have pride and we need to like let it go.
Yeah, I love that you said that. We don't wanna be angry because I don't like being in contentious places with you. It's very weird, and that's probably because the beginning of our connection was so like healing. I think for us to think of our relationship that was once like so healing and amazing and energizing has some type of conflict in it. I feel like we've had this pattern of like we'll just rather not do nothing. Let's not say nothing. Let's not do nothing until we can. Which has its ramifications, but it does have a healthy aspect to it a little bit,
Because it stops us from saying things that we don't mean in the heat of, because I don't feel like we've ever said anything that was disrespectful.
No,
you can't bounce back.
Ever.
So.
Well, you said earlier I said something on the Chase in Atlanta live, but you ain't like what I said.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that had me hot. It was a lot, and now I watched that one. I think did I send it to you? I might have sent it to Marcel and Tyreek because I was like, oh, it was you. That actually they wanted me to host that live, and I was gonna do it, but last second I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And so they put you, Dior, Tedley, and somebody else on it. I don't remember. I can find it. And I was like y'all were talking about it. And Dior was stating how he knew it was a setup because Marzel called him and told him like, he had us come down here to fight. And it was just like, the whole shit was like, it was a crock of bullshit. And I was just like, come on. First off, if you know Marzel, like you claim you know Marzel, like, Marzel has never been in a fight in a day in his life. So for one, if I'm going to call people to fight, like I'm going to call my real Atlanta hood friends to come and fight. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then for what? To fight Kesey, somebody that we already knew that I was already fond of. You know what I mean? So that wasn't adding up. But I felt like on the live, you were like, well, they said something about, you was like, that wasn't what I was told. I was told, yada, 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 which was true. You told the truth in that part. And then they were like, but he lied about something. And he was like, I never known him to lie to me. But if he did lie, like insinuating that I lied about the whole situation, and I didn't like that because I felt like, yes, you didn't flat out say I lied, but you've known me for years and I've never lied to you about anything. So why would I start thinking about a fight if I would, for one, that's not even my spirit. When you're into it with somebody or any of our friends are into it with somebody, I'm the peacemaker. I'm like, just walk away. Now, if they keep going and they want to like push the issue, then I got your back 100%. But I don't just going around arguing with people I don't know. That's just not a thing. So I feel like in that moment you could have been like, no, I'm standing tall on it. This did not happen. Or you could have got on the phone on either one of your phones and called me and been like, hey, Deandre, this is what's going on. Can you clear it up? And I'm like, me watching you sit there and even your facial expressions, it gave like you didn't trust and you didn't believe in me when I feel like out of anybody, you really know me,
Okay. I receive it. I hear you. And that makes sense. First of all, let me start by apologizing for my actions making you feel that way, because that was definitely not my intention. And they hurt you, so I'm very sorry about that. I do remember something like that. I probably wouldn't have thought to call you because one, me being there was because your ass wasn't answering nobody's phone. So my brain probably wouldn't have thought call him to get him on this live that he clearly doesn't want to be a part of. I was trying to just make it through, one, because I didn't watch the show, so I really didn't know what came before that. So it wasn't so much more of like I couldn't defend you. I didn't know what had happened on the show. Like I didn't see anything. I didn't ask nobody. I really didn't care. I was only there to talk about what I saw, what I could talk from my gut that happened. So when they were talking about lying to you, I didn't know what had been said. I don't know what had been shot, and I don't. In public spaces, I don't like putting my foot in my mouth or like having to come back and apologize and correct something. I'll always try to just choose a more safe jargon to get me through, just so I don't get in trouble later. Because integrity to me is everything, and I never want to be caught in a lie or seem like I'm supporting a lie. If I say something happened or something didn't happen, I want to be able to say it. So it wasn't so much like I was afraid to say you weren't lying. That's why I said, like, he's never lied to me. I don't know him to be a liar. But I just didn't know what else had happened that I didn't know about that, that could negate. And, like, I don't know. Again, it put me in a weird space where it's like, I don't want to make my friend look bad. And I'm trying to support him in the best way that I can stand on. But then I also don't want to compromise my own integrity with the people and speak on things or be caught in something that I don't necessarily know the full truth to because, bitch, I wasn't watching the show. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I really don't know what Deandre said or did to y'all. You know, I don't know. I still don't know. You know, I only watch my scenes. So, and that's no shade. That's just my rule for all reality TV. I don't, you know me. I'll be watching Charmed and Harry Potter analysis videos and the Weather Channel and watching Lizard Skin. You know, like I'm not watching reality TV. I work there. I don't eat there. Anyways, and so you stop coming to your green screens, and they're calling me again. They're like, Oliver, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And I was like, well, I was there for his green screens. I mean, I was there for those scenes. You know, if he's not going to do it, just call me and I'll film some green screens for it. Because my first season of doing a feature on Chasing Dallas, I came in with the green screen. Even though I was only there for one episode, Reese G allowed me to have a green screen. So it really fit within the aesthetic of the show that when Oliver's over here on Dallas, he gets a green screen because that's what I've done before. But I just remember, like, I was trying to reach out to you. I couldn't get to you. And I was just like, I was getting frustrated because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. There was some other things with me and this stuff going on that I'm like, okay, now y'all need me to do this. Why am I in this right now? I mean, well, in actuality, I have put myself in it. I did by, trying to get you on the show. I did the green screens. And I don't think we've spoken since then. I don't think.
No, the green screen was the final. Like once you did tell me, you were like, if you don't do the green screens, they're gonna have me standing into the green screens. And then again, in that moment, I'm like, okay, here's another instance of you not having my back. Like if I say I don't want to be a part of it, I wanted you to be like, and again, it's me being so selfish. But in that moment, I'm just like a crybaby. Like, you like somebody, you think they like you back, and then you go on a date, and then you telling your friends, oh, he's the one, I love him so much, and he telling people, I don't fuck with that hoe. It was trash.
That's how you felt.
Yeah, I felt like.
Oh, that makes me sad.
I felt like if anybody was gonna have my back, you were gonna have my back and be like, what y'all are doing to him is crazy. Like, at least, can we stop some of the shenanigans? Because we all knew, and we're not gonna act like production didn't know that I was going to do Squid Games. So it's like, and I'm telling them like, hey guys, what y'all are putting out is hurting me more than it's helping me. Can you just hold off? Like, and it was just pushback. So I'm like, y'all are not giving me what I'm asking you to do, but yet you want me to come in and film green screens to further my, you know what I mean? I'm like, if I'm trying to tell the network people like, oh, I don't have nothing to do with that show anymore. And then you're still like, oh, but he just did a green screen. We know that you do green screens after you've completed the show. So I just felt kind of like I wanted you to be like, yeah, no, if he says no, we're not doing it. But again, that was me being selfish. And I did. I called you and we talked again and you were like, I don't like this position I'm being put in. Can you go in and complete the green screens? And remember, I went in and I did the first set of green screens. And then I talked to Markel. Me and Markel had a good heart-to-heart. And he was like, I apologize. I understand where you're coming from. I apologize to Markel.
Yeah.
Everything was good. Like we hugged. I was at his house. Like we hugged. We went out, And then
you said, fuck it again.
Yeah, because I get back online and then I see like more. It's just more BS. And it's like every time I got on and I would see the people who I was confiding in and like, y'all knew what I was going through. Like I was really in a low place. And I'm like, y'all, please have my back. And I feel like nobody had my back. And now I'm gonna get like emotional, but that part was hard. I was kind of like,
but see, I didn't know all of this was happening with you. Like, I didn't know that like this was having this type of emotional toll on you. And like, I'm really, really sorry that like I didn't show myself like evident to be there for you, friend.
But it wasn't your fault.
Do you need to take a quick break? Okay, we're gonna go to a quick commercial. Kenny should leave your boxing gloves at the house, okay?
Need a daily fix? Get in the mix with Twixt, a live digital digest of queer commentary on reality TV and social media.
I do have to play devil's advocate just a little bit. I think Nene is above Tiffany Pollard.
Really?
Let me tell you something, bitch. If you hit me, I'm gonna hit you so hard, you got to go get your man.
Live every Monday night, only on the Oliver Twixt YouTube channel. Watch and listen as myself and my bestest squirrel and girlfriends get into our favorite guilty pleasures.
I know in working with children, we were always taught like children learn behavior through two things, for what's taught and what's allowed.
As for me and my house, we would serve the Lord.
You see what I'm saying?
What is like the main key advice that you would give?
Get a lawyer.
And you just never know who's gonna stop by in the mix.
You know what, Sam? We're gonna go to you first.
Let me say something right now. Just watching the show, my butthole was in a knot.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a lot. So buckle the up because I have so many opinions on this.
Don't miss a good laugh and some exclusive tea.
I have another phone call that I actually have recorded.
I think she's still in the back, Dr. G. I'm waiting on her to get back on too.
Get in the mix with Twixt every Monday night, only on the Oliver Twixt YouTube channel. See you there.
Hey y'all, we are back. Oh, we had to take a quick little break. I'm enjoying what's happening. I'm thankful for you guys being here supporting us, watching this healing take place. I see you in the back, Dre. You just give me the thumbs up when you're ready. I can keep talking. You ready? Okay, so Dre's gonna come back and we're gonna finish the things of the things. So a couple seconds ago, you got emotional and talking about where you were during that time. During that time while Chasing Dallas was going on. And you know, hearing you talk about this is all news to me. I never knew any of these things were going on, and I'm just like, I feel so sorry that I wasn't there to support you and be there with you, you know? Like, I'm really, this really hurts me that I wasn't there to help you. Someone that I credit who helped me out so much, you know? As I had told you during that time, like, I felt, even though I didn't know what was going on, the fact that, like, you were clearly having, like, a turbulent time on the show, like, I'm like, I don't want to really be a part of this, you know? Yeah. And for me, when it came to doing the green screens, one, I knew that, and Dario and them needed it, you know, like, for the show to actually happen, they needed something. And then the second thing was, I don't know what's going on the show, but I don't want it to be a situation where there's nobody on here advocating for him, and then it just gets edited to where, like, he's just fucked up. So I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm here to add some type of comedy, or in my way that I can, like, support him or talk about the positive things that I'm seeing, or the great things in the room that I'm seeing that kind of counteract all the negative things that potentially other people may be saying, because I don't want people just to, because clearly now that he's gone, those things are already going to have their own narrative. He's no longer there. But at least for the ones that I'm here, that I was there for, at least let me try to do something. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, if I do these little bit, that'll give y'all enough time to try to get him back in here and actually finish, so he can finish telling his story. And that was also my main concern. Like, I don't want, like, I know it's fucked up. And again, I didn't know it was to this level. I definitely would have been like, okay, we just gonna cut our losses and think of another game plan. But I just ain't want nobody telling your story for you. Like, I wanted you to be able to explain yourself, at least have the chance to explain yourself, and not have yourself just written off like how I've seen some of these other people on Chasing Reality just up and leave and don't finish the season, and then people have all these comments about them in the, you know, in these ideas about them on the internet, and it's just like, no, I want you to at least have a chance to tell your own side. All right. So now, let's all breathe in together. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, Deandre, you just took me through it. I can't cuss you the dog fuck out after that.
Yeah, no, you can. Let's get back into it. It honestly, you know, when you try to hold things in and not, because I see comments, we all see comments. And so, like, I ignore a lot. And again, I'm not a victim, because again, I chose to go on there. I chose to do my actions. You know what I mean? So I know what I did. But at the same time, it's like, if you don't really know the full picture, don't judge, because you don't know what was going on in those moments. And it was a lot. And I was fighting to try to clear my name up every step of the way. But towards the end, I just felt like I'm fighting a pointless battle. Like, people are still going to say what they want to say. If you like me and you respected what I did, if you knew, like, if you could see past the BS, then great. But if you can't, I'm okay with that too. Like, you know, but I got emotional because I didn't realize how much I like put a lot on you when it wasn't your fault. You know what I mean? Like, you were just trying to be a friend, and thinking back, it was very selfish of me to have like ill feelings towards you when you were just trying to have my back. Because on the phone, you did tell me, you said, I don't want it to be you just to walk away and then everything's negative and there's no coming back from that if you're not using your voice to talk. So I remember those conversations, and I'm not going to act like you weren't there for me, because you were. But at that time, I just had unrealistic expectations for you. And so for that, I apologize. I really do.
But you know what, honestly, and I take that and I accept that. And I thank you for that. But I just feel like, you know, in being honest and vulnerable, I just feel like the type of love that you have shown me when like I couldn't even love myself or like find a loving moment and I just was over it. I feel like, and I've always told you this, I've always wanted you to I've always wanted to give you what you had given me.
Right.
And like that was always important to me, which is why, like, you know, in everything that I did as related to you, I wanted to see you win and succeed, because I felt like you had given me so much, like from your time to your energy to your wallet to your kind words. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like the way you treated me, the way you looked after me, looked over me, like I felt like I was indebted. So honestly, Dre, if you would have picked up the phone and been like, okay, Eddie, I hear all that shit, but I need you to say fuck it and we're gonna do something else, I would have been like, fuck it. Fuck it. You know, fuck it. We ain't doing no fucking green screens, you know? Fuck it. You know, I'm probably gonna get cut from season 6 and the mix ain't gonna come out, but fuck it. Deandre said fuck it, so fuck it. I didn't know it was really having that type of pull on you. And I've always told you, like, I've always wanted you to, because I don't mind. Like you can tell me to do that, because I feel like you've done so much for me. And I say this, Deandre has done so much for me. Like so much for me. And I think a large part of me was fighting to like show the world whatever credibility they feel like I got. And I report how them like, no, this man is fucking amazing. Like he helped save my life. And so it just sucks that this, has created this wedge between you and I. But all things happen for a reason, and everything is has a learning aspect to it. And like you said earlier, we're always able to find ourselves back into a place, but we're not necessarily doing damage control because we've had these nasty blow-ups and said whatever we've spent time, a little bit too much time, but time apart for us to have this harmonious reunion.
Yes.
What you got going on? Because I've heard some things.
What you're hearing?
I'm gonna let you tell your story.
What story?
What you got going on, Deandre?
As far as what?
Live. Update us on your live.
Oh, I teach 3rd grade math.
Okay.
That's amazing. I love these little kids. Well, you met half of my classes because I teach different sections. But that's it. Again, working on teacher certification. I'm certified technically, but I still have to take another test to be fully certified after a year. You know me, I love school.
Where are you in the world?
I'm in Dallas. I still live in Dallas.
Oh,
I just don't live in Addison anymore. Now I live downtown.
Oh, you rich?
No.
Okay, so you're only teaching. You don't got nothing side thing going on.
No, and it feels so weird. Well,
I'm shocked at that.
I know it feels so weird, but so my daughter lives with me full time now. It's our spring break, so she's gone. She's with her mom. But yes, so with that, and then I'm hopefully about to get married soon. On somebody. Yes. His name is Zach. Hey Zach.
Hey Zach.
But outside of that, I've just been chilling. I coach soccer, so does that count?
You play soccer?
Yeah, I play soccer since I was 3.
No, nigga.
I coach my school's team. So yeah.
You got it going on. It looks like you're happy. When I FaceTimed you the other day, and I saw your hair in little twists, I said, "Oh, he's living his life. He's having a good time. Like life is great for him."
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, even you can look at my Instagram. Like, I had to pull back from everything because I didn't realize how much stuff like hurt me. And I said, well, maybe now that I'm 30, I'm like sensitive. But like, I just had to take a break from everything. And so now that I like took a break, it's just kind of like weird to get back into it because you know how focused on social media. Like we like you plan this out, but now I'm just taking everything just like day by day. It feels weird to say, but it feels good to do. So yeah.
So any interest in entertainment right now?
Honestly, no. They just asked me to stand in for a show. Well, I'll send it to you, but I don't think I want to do it. I like my life right now, just kind of being like low key. Yeah, I still get like mean stares. Sometimes they're nice stares. Like when I'm out and about, I was at the you know I love K Michelle. I was at the K Michelle concert and I'm like peeing and somebody like tapped me on the shoulder and was like, "You that boy from that show?" Listen, you know. But other than that, I just like I like my little family unit. I just like being in my house.
That's so great, Drazy. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm looking at a whole different person.
It feels like it really does feel like it.
Oh, that's so amazing.
What about you? What's going on with you?
What's going on? What you want to know?
I want to know what the people want to know. What y'all want me to ask Oliver?
Life is cooling right now, you know. I have lash glue in my eyes. It's kind of like obscuring my vision. These lashes ain't been my friend this whole entire thing. It was cute what I did earlier, but bitch, right now they was not functioning at all. What? Okay. What's going on? I am.
Are you dating?
No. No, we are in a place of. I'm open to dating, but it just has to be like it has to meet my expectations. Short and simple. Yeah. I'm not really trying to play off in that area, you know? Because I just realized I had been doing it wrong for so long. And I just had to take a look back and really just do a survey of like where I was going wrong. And in doing that, it just made me say, until you actually like meet someone worthy of the standards you need to be living at, you don't need to play with it. So, you know, no, you know, people text me, they say, hey, what's up? But no, nothing serious. No, I'm not dating. I'm open to it, but you know, it has to be the right thing. I don't feel like crying over nobody's son no more. Like I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. Over it. So that's that. We're probably gonna move soon, hopefully. Yes, we're writing new projects, you know, I really don't have no main clients right now. Like I help Funky Dineva out here and there, which I'll always help him out probably to the day he dies. But it's really solo dolo me right now. So yeah, whatever I create.
Yeah,
really.
I was gonna ask you that. One thing I do miss, I really, really do miss creating with you. That was a time you used to definitely challenge me. And I used to remember we used to have Monday meetings. Like Monday we would get together and figure out like, what's our game plan. You used to hate Monday meetings.
No, I love Monday meetings. Monday meetings was fun. You used to always get fired until I actually did fire you. Until I actually did fire you.
Yeah.
You felt the way about that for a long time. Anything else you want to add to this before we get out of here? This has been so amazing. Oh my God.
You didn't. That's crazy.
Huh?
I said, I can't believe I cried and you didn't. I said, that's crazy.
I didn't cry. I almost did, but I didn't. I'm a G now. I don't be crying like that no more.
I know.
You know, I had to get, you know.
Yeah.
That crying shit, that punk shit, you know what I'm saying? You can't doing none of that crying shit. No, Drake, it has been really great talking to you. Like this has been very therapeutic for me. Has it been that for you?
Yeah.
And I actually think for the people who've seen you on the show and they do take the opportunity to watch this, will leave feeling happy. You know, I feel like you really showed the full scope of yourself, the version of you that I know. Well, actually, that I'm really meeting. You know. And it's beautiful. I'm so proud of you and I'm so happy for you. And congratulations on everything that you're doing, you know, because I can see the glow up. It's shining.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always here if you need me.
Ooh, I like that. Well, all right, Dre, I'm ready to get off this thing. We've been on here for 3 hours. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye. Thank you for watching.
Yes. Good night, Dre. I'll text you. Okay, y'all. That was really amazing. Oh my gosh. Listen, I want you guys to sign off in the chat right now. If you guys have any closeout questions before I get out of here. And who do you want to see next in the mix with me from Chase the Reality? Who do you want to see? Who do you want to see? I really enjoyed that. Oh my God. I just been telling y'all all my business on these things with these people. But, you know, I really enjoy it because these are people that I've actually shared like genuine connections with, you know? Like, you know, I've enjoyed some of the people from Chase Atlanta for the most part. And I'm pretty sure I can key and will key with them. But there are a lot of people on this platform that I've actually like shared like, you know, life moments with. I'm so happy to be able to recount some of these things, get some clarification, find out new stuff, relook at things. Like, it's so beautiful to have those types of conversations with people in a loving way that's not like volatile and negative and angry. I'm really grateful for what happened tonight. Lauren or Q, you know, I thought about it. I thought about it for like 2 minutes and then I tucked it right back in the back of my heart. You know, I don't think, no. I'm really staying true on, I really respect and value that friendship. Very, very similar to the one with Deandre. And it's like, I'm just not going to get in a place and go, you know, engage in the things of the things and just like erase and wipe away what was a beautiful relationship. But, you know, you never know what God can do. And if he moves, you know, maybe there can be some reconciliation and we can get them to talk where we can talk about these things, you know, safely and, you know. Kendra! I would love to talk to Kendra. George, I just was with George the other night. Okay, George, one for George. Who else? I see another Kendra. I thought about Imani Van Zap too. I thought about that. Wayne the Pain. That would be fun. Kendra. Dior. Okay. Listen, I thank you guys so much for like tuning in and watching these. Listen, again, if you're just now tuning in, these started from me basically being petty with Gardini and being like, I'm tired of you always calling me to your bigo. I need you to come to my YouTube and give me some content. And we just went live and I just started asking questions about Chasing Reality. You guys loved it. Reese G chimed in. Well, bitch, bring your ass over here. We got history. Let's talk. Talked about it. Randomly talked to Deandre, bitch, we got history, let's talk about it. And, you know, I'm really happy to see the reaction and the support it's getting. I thank you guys so much. Kevon, I reached out to Kevon. Devon would be really cool. I've tried to collaborate with Devon a couple times, and hopefully we can soon. Hopefully with this, that would be really cool. I'm gonna keep it going. Y'all keep showing up, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Thank y'all so much for watching. Again, Deandre, thank you for joining and telling us your story. I greatly appreciate it. Listen, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you know when I post new content, okay? We have a lot of Twix exclusives on the Oliver Twixt YouTube channel. Make sure you get into them. We got a Flavor of Love one coming up. That's going to, I know for sure, get me in trouble on the internet. I already know. I don't want to give it away who the girl is that I interviewed, but I just want to say she don't give a fuck. She didn't give a fuck back then, and she don't give a fuck now. She don't even give more of a fuck now. Oh my God, she spilled so much business. That's coming up. We got 2 Making the Band Twix exclusives coming up, and I know one is definitely going to get us in trouble. What else we got? We got one from American Idol, and of course, we just did this one with Deandre. Make sure you guys are locked and tuned. Okay, tuned and locked to Oliver Twixt YouTube channel. Get into my music videos, watch them, stream me, Oliver Twixt on all music platforms. Come go on vacation with me in October, www.twixtrip.com. Y'all already know who the fuck it is, the hair nerd in charge, bitch. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. And until next time, be sure to pray and Kegel. Good night. Yeah. Everybody go.